There's some great shots, perfect ones coming in from Respectful. Now he's on the hunt for more. Formal in the 1v1. The overshield, the difference maker, but not if you're Formal.
All right, guys, I think we're back. YouTube had a weird issue. Everything just crashed.
But he will continue to rack up time. Good positioning here from the side. He knows he's going to need to start to rotate. He sees the spawn coming right away, so he's going to drop and try to do a little bit of slaying here in the back of house. Did not know that he was going to get flanked there from APG. That's a free kill for APG. Great route from him.
Yeah, I love the idea coming in from Legend. Unfortunately, just the timing a little bit off for him. If he's a second layer on that, maybe he catches APG off guard. But Ascend with a 25-point run at the start of this game. It's Optic Gaming, though, who get the 3 or 4 dead for Ascend, and now they have the setup of their own, just kind of holding this ball towards cuts. As a lot of work being done over by Tower.
I gotta say, I did smash my tooth on the table when I was losing my mind over Formal's triple.
Are you good? Can you see me?
I might need to see a medical professional.
Yeah, we're good. We're back up.
No time for that, because we're in round number 3.
All right.
4 minutes left on the clock.
We're streaming on Twitch now, just to be safe.
Well, trying to get off the C flat, you can kind of tell the team was a little bit of a head on the swivel moment. They're not sure which way they wanted to rotate, but the kills do come in for them. 2 dead now. They will continue scoring, and they will take the lead.
I'm concerned if you
I think they have to cut the stream. I think they have to cut the HCS stream on YouTube to restart it.
Certainly not going to look as good as Optic Gaming do at the moment with this setup. There's 35 points on the board and rising. 10 points the difference between the two teams as Trippy has managed to get that OS as well.
Great points here. Oh, it's just going to continue when you have Trippy with the heat wave, make it a heat wave. Overshield in hand, Respectful is in trouble here. Trippy just going to fly over the top, 3 dead yet again. Formal probably going to win a battle in the back of the base. Unsurprisingly, they will continue scoring, and just like that, they have double the score of Ascend. That's about 30 unanswered points right there.
Got wall here for Trippy as well as a slither of Overshield, but there's the flank from Seeker. A couple of missed shots this time means Seeker can get that entry kill. Formal now once again with responsibility, maybe thinking about a playbook this time. But a couple of kills go.
We're good. Everyone back to normal. It wasn't me at all. It's something totally different. That sucks, man. We were kind of rolling. Oh, so stupid. Because I also have analytics, right? My analytics. I want my analytics to be like to be good, you know. Like all the data for the day. I don't like doing it like this. Oh well.
Feast upon with a couple
We
of
back.
bullets here.
We back on matters.
Snipe drone should be cleaned up here by Trippy. Respectful going to be challenging. The body shot comes in, and a lovely little quick scope coming in from Trippy. Respectful again somehow gets away with a double kill there.
What a great play there from Trippy. Like you said, surprisingly, Respectful's getting those angles. However, Trippy making sure that he's also talked about, because this man has looked better and better as the season has gone on. Score check 71-25 with only 3 minutes left.
Yeah, really, really dominant score here for Optic Gaming in this round number 3. The difference between the two teams probably bigger than we've seen it the entire time that we've been here on Live Fire Oddball. The 25 points is all that is required, excuse me, for Optic to close this out. It looks like Ascend is starting to show a little bit of desperation here, and Trippy, he's on the hunt.
3 dead again. Trippy just commanding the tower. We talk about Formal a lot. We talk about Lucid a lot when it comes to these snipe weapons. Trippy showing that he can do it too, and not only that, but do it well. 15 points to go for Optic Gaming on the series.
Oh my word. Trippy finds 1. Snipe drone, you're going to be toast as well. It's 2 for Trippy. Looking for that triple kill of anyone daring to challenge from back green. 3 players fall here for Ascend, but on the other side of things, you can see Seeker's got that overshield. So this is a crux moment, not just in the game. This could be the end of the series. If they deal with these final players coming in from Ascend, then this could be Optic calling this a 3-0.
Good shots for Snipe Drone. Going to keep things close here. 2 dead for just a moment from both sides. That'll be a double from Snipe Drone as well, but still just like that, only 10
YouTube
seconds.
music kept going. Nice
Optic,
triple.
but it's a triple from Snipe Drone. Does he dare challenge Lucid here? Instead, he's just going to scurry away, grab the ball, try to put points on the board. There's no room for error here for Ascend. They would need 60 points almost unanswered to win the game.
Great little bit of professionalism there from Snipe Drone as well. We've all been there, right?
Volume okay for you guys?
Triple, you're thinking about the over. Yeah, the opportunity to challenge, but against Lucy with no shields, that ain't going to happen. So played it smartly, unfortunately. The smartness from Optic Gaming is on display once more as they pick up the kills they need. They're also picking up the final points they need to call this a 3-0 win in pool play. Optic Gaming.
Talk about a wipe, huh?
Here on Live Fire Oddball, but what a series that was.
What a way to start the tournament. The stage decked out in green after our first series in the green wall. Happy to see that result. The question was, how's Optic going to look in this first one? They look good. It's a 3-0 on paper, but they had to work for it.
And that's what we expected. Ascend, like I say, no pushovers whatsoever, even by the best teams in the world. The result will say 3-0, of course. And Optic will be more than happy with that, but boy did they have to work hard for it. Boy did they have to be tested. And I think it's also a good indication of how good Optic are playing, but how tight Pool A is about to be. Still FaZe in this pool.
I mean, yeah, the fact that we still have to see both of these teams play against the new FaZe clan, it's going to be incredible. This pool is the pool of death, we've named it, and it's going to be a tough one for sure. I think this series was certainly evidence of that, even though, as we said, a 3-0 on the scoreboard. Let's take a look at some of the stats here. As we said, Formal will go 39 and 30 in the end. Take a look at the assist category as well. 19 assists. Formal, 21 for Trippy, 25 for Legend as well.
Playing the game though, you have to give it a Formal, right?
You will be
Formal,
forgotten.
my word. I wanted to just take a second and actually break that play down a little bit more, because when you're in those pressurized situations, experience is such a massive thing, right?
You know, as you said, Dewey. Yeah, so guys, YouTube crashed. Sorry about that. It wasn't anything in my internet. I was gonna say, but come on, man, not my fiber now. So upset. The funny thing is, I don't think the Halo channel guys realizes that they have to restart the stream.
Formal top tower with the snipe, and we're down to the
like the stream is still.
He's gonna make plays like that happen. He absolutely did. He did it with style. There's your series layout. 3-0 for Optic Gaming, but as you can see, based off the objective results, it was not a walk in the park for them. They had to work for those, both of them ending at 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous series. A lot of fun for sure, and it's time for us to actually hear from one of the Optic Gaming members now. Lucid is down on the main stage with Blaze. Let's see what he has to say.
Thank you so much, Bravin, on set for the fantastic cast. Give it up for Optic Gaming coming out on top with the first victory here at HCS Orlando. And Lucid, throughout this series, it was a 3-0 victory. But if I had to say, the two most difficult moments that I saw you guys have was in the map #1 strongholds, that third hill for you guys to lock it in, and then Formal clutching it up with the triple kill in the eyeballs. He seemed to be a part of both of those plays. Tell me what was going through the team's comms, and how did it feel to see him make those plays?
Yeah, I mean, I think that series, at least for myself personally, was a little bit of a slow start, but I could tell that at least as a team, we were still on point with our comms. Things always get like a little hectic.
Yeah.
They always do for any team, but we sort of really on point with like slowing it down, saying that, making sure we're on the same page for the better portions of all those games.
Yep.
And I think it just showed, at least in our teamwork. And then at least Matt, I could tell that last game, like he was just hitting some shots. That's all it takes sometimes. And
yeah, you guys.
All right, people. Lucid, Dewey called it. Dewey, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing. Dewey.
It just comes down to communication at the end of the day.
40,000. It's awesome.
It's a team game, and I think that's something that we've been really working on. So we slow ourselves down. We know what we're watching, and we know, okay, when this guy does this, gets a couple shots, I can do my work, and they can do their work. That kind of situation.
And now lastly, you know, from having this squad in Kansas City
by
here
season
in Orlando,
3.
how much more confident are you in this team to take a championship?
Yeah, I'm way more confident. I was very confident going into all these tournaments, no matter the team, no matter the case, but I think specifically now with the toxic
Look at this monster, man. What a
extensive
tank.
nature of how much we've been talking over things and really all learning and adapting in our practice and in these tournaments, I think us as a team are even stronger, the strongest we've been.
Well, you guys definitely look really strong here, as we saw in that first
That's a
series.
beast.
Give it up one more time for Optic Gaming here on the stage. That's going to do it for me and Lucid. Lottie, back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Blaze. And yes, my goodness me, what a statement that was from Optic on the main stage. First series into their pool play, day 1 here at Orlando.
Guy turns like the camera. You see that?
EU's finest team is pretty exceptional, I've got to say, and considering the fight that Ascend showed as well, I think it just makes it all more important in terms of the statement that they're making coming into this major. What did you make of the gameplay from Optic's side?
On the Halo stream, guys, I'm looking at the chat in the Halo stream. That's clearly dead. 53 still watching, and someone's like,
the pace, and if Trippy can play like he has been recently
dead,
online,
just like
this
Infinite's
Optic
player
gaming team
base.
is going to be a serious threat to take the whole thing.
They certainly are, and I think in terms of, you know, that clutch factor, we definitely saw it in that series, especially in that first King of the Hill game on Streets. You know, talk to me about that moment where it headed into overtime, and Optic, they just had that perfect setup to take that tick to the next level and grab that point.
Yeah, Lottie, that was a really unfortunate game to lose if you're on the side of Ascend. Going up 1-0 would have been so big, and it could have really changed the outcome of that series. We saw in Game 3, Ascend take the first round King of the Hill. We saw in Game 1, and we're just narrowly lost that game. And really, I was talking to Clutch about it. It was their game to lose, and unfortunately for them, they shot themselves in the foot a little bit in that Game 1, and Optic clutched up.
2 of these games came down to 2 different plays. there was a setup opportunity in the third hill for the King of the Hill Streets game where all you have to do is get one round of slays on Optic and you can win game 1. This oddball game, you kill Formal top tower with that snipe, you win in round 2. You do not even have to go to a round 3. Very easily could have Ascend gone up 2-1 in this series, but they just didn't make that one extra play they needed to in order to win some of these games. When Ascend is able to do that against some of the lesser teams, I mean, Optic being one of the best, if not the best team here, that bodes well for Ascend's future. I think they should keep their heads up going forward because those were very winnable games. Optic just had the players to close the door on some of those games.
Yeah, I think if that's the only difference is a clutch moment, not getting one setup or one setup being broken, that shows how close Ascend really are now to the top teams in North America. And the fact that, you know, months ago, years ago, it was a situation where they wouldn't have even come close to touching an Optic Gaming. Suddenly Europe, it really is starting to be respected as a region now. That being said, Ascend do need to be looking at that and saying, okay, that was a mistake. We shouldn't be letting setups be broken that easily. But on the flip side, we learned Optic are very good at breaking setups. They really have been working on that throughout these tournaments. When they see a setup, they will find a weakness and they do break through.
I couldn't agree more with all of that. There's so many opportunities for Ascend to get in there. They had so many, incredible timings on the power-ups. We saw that on Recharge. It was insane. The camos, after camos that was coming through, and Seeker just unfortunately not able to capitalize on those, but they're going to learn from those mistakes. But let's take a look at the pools right now and see the updates that are coming through here. And I just want to note right now, you can see in Pool B, I had a little bit of an update from my wonderful producer, G1. They're playing Native Red, and Native Red are currently up 2-1 in the series. That is massive. There's so much expectation for G1 here, and Native Red, to be honest, formerly KCP, I believe. And that is massive in itself. And I think if G1 lose out this early on, what do you think that does for the kind of mental of this team, who honestly have a lot of pressure on their shoulders?
Yeah, I think G1 came in here with a little bit different of a storyline than they almost should have, because the LAN took so long to get here in the last 5 months. G1 went through their honeymoon phase. They started so hot. They had their run. They were such a powerhouse online for so long, and they've started to stagger online. So the big question for me was, could G1 get off to the right foot? Beating Native Red is almost a must. I can see the projector screen from right here, and it looks like they're up in game 4. We could be going to a game 5 very early between G1 and Native Red, and that's very exciting for both of those teams' opportunities in that pool.
And these two teams actually played each other in the Grunt Classic in the winner's bracket, and Native Red won the series 3-2, right? So in my mind, Native Red and G1 are those two wildcard teams, right? We all made our predictions, and for the most part, it was G1 across the board. But my wildcard team was actually Native Red. I'm a big fan of this roster. We've seen them time and time again. Their dominance over the last couple of years, right? So don't sleep on Native Red. This team is here to make a run like they always can. And
that'd be awesome if Lights Out makes it, man.
End up doing in this tournament.
Indeed, I'm
That'd be
very
awesome.
excited. Hopefully we'll get to see G1 and Native Red a little bit later on. But coming up next, we have United versus Space Station Gaming. That's going to be big as well, because obviously Space Station Gaming have taken on PK Knights, and that's going to be massive. I'm excited to see this squad. Got a couple new additions to talk about when we get back onto the desk, but we're actually heading to a quick break. But when we come back, we do have another absolute banger of a series happening on the main stage, and an incredible first match to kick off the Orlando Major. Optic Gaming take the series 3-0. What a statement from the green wall. And we'll be back after the break for United versus Space Station Gaming.
Well, can they compete wherever they are now and make it to the top 4, those 4 brackets? Isn't that how it works? You gotta do like win all those things and move up there. I'm gonna mute that because I don't want copyright stuff, just in case. So we'll play my own music for now while we're waiting. Someone in the Halo chat said 3 games, 43 mistakes. He's our Lucid. Let's go. Let's go. Dewey, how are you seeing their matches? That would be cool, Infinite. That'd be really cool. It'd have to be like a squad. Like we'd have to be like the squad. I would need 3 people who I know like we just click and have chemistry. Should I hold tryouts for the next few weeks? Oh, looks like it's back up. Wow, so YouTube actually hold on. All right, they're back up. YouTube's actually a few seconds ahead of Twitch. Interesting.
We could talk over something.
All right, back on YouTube.
Hello, wonderful people out there, and welcome
I want to
back
support
to the
YouTube,
Halo
you know, man.
Championship Series.
That's what
We're
I
here
use.
for the
So.
Orlando Major. It is the final major of the season, and my goodness me, we start with a bang. Optic Gaming providing the results on the main stage against Ascend, 3-0, but Ascend, an illustrious effort on that main stage, and it really showed us a different side of Optic as well. But looking at sides,
Yeah, Mark,
United
YouTube died.
versus Space Station Gaming happening next, and this one should be a pretty damn good series as well. We have a chalk schedule for everybody, so you've got to make sure you are tuning in. But United, looking at these guys, what has the change of Spartan and King Nick done for Snipedown and Suspector on this roster? Because these two are coming on board, change of pace, it's kind of a different one. The synergy of the team changes, the pace, does it change a lot, but does it change for the better?
It's going to be one question we'll have to find out. I think we've seen coming into this event online, United not looked brilliant, and I have to be completely upfront.
Infinite, me,
that,
Dewey, Mint, and Sukan actually was kind of cool.
Between online and LAN on this game, right? So I'm very excited to see how this team actually turns up.
It was kind of cool, and then Sukan started working night jobs, and then that ended.
On this lineup, so if they can force their way through to a Sunday, you never know what can happen with this United lineup.
I mean, you've heard from Snipedown himself, just talking about how much more comfortable he is on that roster. Also,
yeah, Dr. Suspect.
Better. I just think he's ready to play here with this squad.
I saw his die, or saw his live
from himself, talking about it on stream. He's ready to play with these guys, and I think the guys are also looking at it as a very welcome addition in terms of play style and chemistry.
That's really good to know, because one of the questions I posed on the desk earlier on when we were setting up storylines was this chemistry thing. You know, looking at two pretty big leaders now on a team together, Ryanoob and Snitedown, I was wondering if their heads were going to clash a little bit in terms of what they want to do. But what do we make of the slow pace that United consistently are trying to push out and forward in their gameplay? Is it working? Because so far, we haven't seen the results that are needed, Clutch.
Time will tell, I think, for these guys. It's a matter of, can they get momentum? Can they control the game the way they want to? I think it's a big question for me, because I feel like when they are not having success, it's because the other teams are pushing it to a pace that they can't really keep up with, and that they're having trouble getting control back when they lose it significantly. So if they can fix that problem, I think this team has the sky's the limit.
Now, I keep talking about pace a lot with the United, and that's because they do have that
play style.
And when Suspected first joined us, you know, we were looking at him at the NA Super and wondering how that super fast pace from the Pioneers would mesh, with the slow methodical
I think I have one of the best winning
how does that change
Mint,
now, bringing Snitedown on board? Does it change once again?
I mean, you look at what Snitedown's done historically, and I think he's just been undervalued a lot of the time. You know, there's a lot of, you ask the pros their opinion on Snitedown, he says he's still one of the best. He's still going to be a player who's going to put up good stats, and I think on this lineup, he's going to be comfortable as well, because he's got other players to worry about things like objective, being a little bit more aggressive. He can do what he does best, and you mentioned leadership, right? I don't think Snitedown really wants to be in a role where he has to make play calls. He wants to leave that to someone else. Historically, he's been the guy who listens and cleans up damage. He can do this on this lineup.
Okay, well, I love to see it. And on the other side of the stage, we have obviously
BLT,
Gaming,
he hit
previously PK
800.
superstars of the LATAM
He hit
region,
800 for season 2.
Worlds, taking a big leap to change organization
what
and
a
represent
monster.
SSG. What are the strengths do you think of this LATAM team and what they bring with this championship roster of their region?
It's a lot of passion down in that region. I think these guys are the ones that really uphold that title as far as the best in that MX region. There's a lot of talent on this team. The big thing for me is, can they get the job done as far as the top 8 performance this weekend?
Yeah,
a team like United would be massive.
I'm not
quite sure they have that in them, though. They'll be one of those teams I expect to be competing for the top 12 spots. It's just a matter of where do they fall in line. But this series could be a massive way to start their tournament off. An upset here would almost guarantee them one of those top 12 positions.
Now, back in the United Grunt Classic on set, they actually lost to Cloud9 and Native Black. And based on the caliber of those teams, do you think they have their work out for them against the United?
I mean, it's two of the best teams that we have in the entire world that you're talking about there. So I think it's something certainly to learn.
His teammates, one teammate is a 2000 from season 1.
North America, we always talk about the
2000. Now he's 17-16. Another teammate was 1786 season 1. Now 1598. BLT right now is a 15
around the
something.
globe has benefited from not only the support that HCS gives them, but more exposure to these.
What else should we check? Should we search?
Space Station, I think, you know, we always talk about them being one of those teams kind of around the same level of some of the top European teams, but I still think that there's a little bit of a way to go for them, if I'm completely honest. There's potential there. Individual.
Yeah, we got re-like. Forgot about that.
I mean, when we were watching the MX Regional, we watched that
re-like,
some of
guys.
the final games in there,
right?
and it was a tough road for now Space Station to actually win that event. And I think that just shows the level of depth and talent in the region. And the depth and talent is always going to push people forward, always push teams to get better and better. And
Clueless.
These guys
you hit Diamond 5 in season 2? Wow. You're Diamond 3 right now.
He's a
nice.
special kind of player. More time. We'll have to tell if that's the difference maker between them jumping up.
Very much so. And a difference maker can also be a little bit of a problem that happened with Space Station Gaming.
Clueless' best teammate is a Stevie G.
Unfortunately, Payload
Let's go. 51% win rate.
Will not be on the roster for Worlds as well.
I'm one of his worst teammates. Clueless, for some reason, me and you just did not work out well together. I don't know what it is.
But how is that going to change the dynamic of this team now, you know, a couple of days before the event?
Yeah, it's tough for the team, right? I mean, Paylu, first of all, is one of the best talents in the region, if not the best player. I was talking to Snitedown yesterday. He's like, Paylu was the best player on that team, right? So maybe even a little bit of a confidence boost, as if they needed it for United. But I couldn't agree more. Even though Nugget's a great replacement, right? Nugget is a household name amongst these players. He's played with and against the players that he's with now for years and years. However, I think in the back of your mind, when you come into an event, Clutch can speak to it better than any of us. If you have a last-second team change, that's still in the back of your mind. You're like, we are not here with the exact setup we planned for.
Yeah, I'm not going to be as nice as Andy. I think this is massive, and this is just
Soup Cannon and Mint are
the
I did the best with those two. I remember
this
that.
weekend. I hate the fact that we are not going to be able to see this full roster. We're not going to be able to see Pelu, and I think it really limits this team's ceiling.
Regrete is not playing for a while.
Removing
Let's see if
him
it's
from
true.
that roster. I do
He's
not
Diamond
think
6
you
right
can
now.
replace this talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one other thing that they have to remember is Tapping Button is, from the MX region, is the originator of really an international player being picked
He hasn't
up
played in a while, yeah.
a North American region. Now you have an entire team picked up. I think if you're the players on Space Station, you need to realize we just got picked up by a major international organization. Regardless of this series, we have to make sure we put on a show. This is really career impacting for them, how they do in these last 2 events.
No, I couldn't agree more with that. And obviously, this is also going to come down to the series layout and how this plays for both of our teams. Noticing anything on their onset in particular for each one of these and how this is really going to be swayed.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I'm looking at that series and I'm keeping a keen eye on E United just because of the run into this event. For me, for them, didn't look maybe the preparation they would have wanted. I want to see if the playstyle works on LAN. I want to see if that little bit of a change in, you know, connectivity, whatever it might be, just helps them when they're trying to hold those setups, because it's going to be interesting because Space Station is going to be a test. They're going to be very, very aggressive, hyper aggressive. They're going to take those 1v1s, and it's a good opportunity for us to see if the way that E United want to approach these games and approach Halo Infinite this weekend is going to be successful.
I think talking about approaching, I think it's, you know, sorry to bring, you know, back the player Pelu and Nugget coming in as well, but in terms of how you approach this, you know, often you do see star players and the rest of the team kind of playing around them and playing for them to be able to pop off and kind of create the openings you want to see. How does that change in this dynamic now? You know, how do, you know, Space Station Gaming start to really change things? Who's going to be that upfront player? Is it going to be Nugget? Is it the direct replacement? Or is Tapping going to have to step up here?
I think, you know, as we see in Halo Infinite, one player on a roster swapped out can mean an entire different performance from that team, and we've seen it time and time again. So I think the question you bring up is a great one. I think, honestly, with the way the Halo Infinite plays, each player on the team needs to be ready to step up, depending on exactly where the spawns are, exactly how the team is set up. You need a player who can deal damage whenever they need to, and we'll have to see
who's winning this,
especially against a team like United.
Indeed. I'll tell you what, folks, we're waiting for things to get set up on the main stage, but we won't leave you.
So you guys want to do by match or by series?
Let's just jump into a Game 5, G1 versus Native Red happening
Oh.
currently. Why not have a TriCast first thing in the morning?
Why not?
Quadcast lot.
Quadcat, all right. I'm up.
Take it off.
I mean, what a time to jump into the series, right? As you say, Game 5 when we're jumping in, and it's pretty much all tied up between these two teams, and two teams we haven't even really mentioned so far in this tournament. Two wildcard teams that, you know, are coming into this looking pretty good. The return of the boys all together.
Man, didn't play
here on
Halo
the side of
ranked
Native
since
Red
August
on the other
31st.
side of
Wow.
things. Second place placing
Oh, what happened?
G1 from the NA Super.
And the big thing about these two teams is
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, here you go.
teams that can win this tournament. But
It
in
was
order
from
to
my
win
task
this
bar for
tournament
some
for
reason.
either one of these two teams to have that in your future, I really think you have to go on a special run. And that run could start here with a Game 5 win.
And let's not forget, G1's coming in here with the second seed based off of their NA Super performance, right? This is the team that expects to blow past these group play matches and find themselves deep into the bracket, but this is neck and neck here at the 30 mark.
So it's showing
First time
mid.
we've seen this
Oh,
lineup
sorry,
lineup
under your
as
pro
well, so
account.
a lot for them to do, and
Maybe
there
you
is
played
Manny
another account.
returning
I
to
just
this
searched your
lineup
main
and
one.
returning to the game, and our screens with a nice little double kill there. It's 33-33 here, Wes. This is about as tight as you could possibly imagine this part of the game.
Yeah, just when Manny makes that play, 3 straight grenade kills on the side of G1. Come back, they trade back the kills, they tie it up, and now Snipe, top tower,
Yeah, you haven't touched it once in
Hansy's
September,
been
bro.
going off with this online. I really want to see if he can make a play here.
Let's take ourselves back a couple of events as well. It seems like every time we see this Native Red lineup, it's a case of a Game 5 on the main stage. So this is something that we're not too dissimilar with, and certainly they're not as well. But a nice little body shot to clean up coming in from Squall. He's got some more work to do here because you can see his teammates are pushing. But so a Native Red, it's 38-36, 2-kill advantage here for Native Red.
Yeah, unlucky timing there, as you said. Just looks away just for a second on that dummy ramp as well as on the cuts, and that will mean the sniper will be traded back over here to Soul Snipe in hand. 2-kill game on the home stretch, only about 10 kills to go.
You got to wonder, all those Game 5s that we've seen this Native Red team in throughout the
tight
season.
race,
we
man.
talked about coming into the season. These guys are rookies on land. These guys need the experience. Is that experience what we're going to see pay off here now?
I mean, Soul Snipe's hitting bodies at the moment, just narrowly missing the heads, but his teammates are there to start cleaning up some of the kills, and Druck is the man who got that final kill. We have to remember in that Game 5 that we casted just a few events ago with that grenade. Soul Snipe trying to work with the teammate Tarlik here, but it's 41-40. It's 9 kills to go on one side, 10 on the other. this is the perfect way to start the day.
Overshield's coming up right now, and Soul Snipe was kind of forced to back up. It looks like G1's been able to take control, not only get that Overshield, but we'll see what they're able to do with it now. Pre-Devonator's behind enemy.
Nice. The heat wave double, dude. I know you appreciate that one.
Hell of an opening from Pre-Dev.
Great stuff from Talik there, but Swish's Overshield could easily win this game if they get
Oh,
the
you
right
phased
damage
them?
off of this. They could see themselves with a 3-4 kill lead pretty easily.
Oh, here we go, boys.
It's going to come down to the wire here, 42 to 42.
Native Red trapped around the tower as well. However, you just saw the flicker of that plasma pistol. It narrowly.
Mega wise guy. That came out of left field.
To avoid it for the second time as well, but 42 to 40.
That came out of
It's
far
8
left
kills to
field.
go for either of these teams.
You must be chilling with a few beers on your wonderful boat next to your swans.
This is the setup being broken right now. The Overshield push is successful, and now Swish doesn't expect to be up top tower. He's picking up assists, kills all around. This last player alive for Native Red. He's taken down. It's a complete wipe, but look at that. Only one kill now separate the two.
46 to 45 here, Andy. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, look at the green spots coming in as well. This should be an opportunity for G1. They should be able to collapse and get the right angles here on green.
Well, Devin should be the player to watch right now because he's just hit a beautiful headshot. He's got the sniper in his hands. A couple of shots here, and G1 will be able to close this out.
Yeah, it's over.
Kill to go for G1 here. Line it up here, Pre-Devonator. Hit a headshot and close out the series.
Snipe in his hands, game in his hands. Let's see if he can pop this one, and you bet Native Red is going to tuck their heads. That will be the game off
There it is.
G1 will take
So all the votes are all
series, 50 to
G1.
46 in that game, number 5.
My goodness me, that was getting very spicy towards the end there, my goodness. And I gotta say though, G1 with multiple overshields as well, how much does that really start to push the game into the favor of G1's hands? And the fact that honestly Native Red were able to kind of bounce back from that despite the fact that their opposition had a power-up time and time again.
Yeah, I'll say it. That play with the Overshield, when you're able to just passively play, show composure, you figure out a way to dissect that tower setup that Native Red had, that was where the game was won. That successful push, that map control that they gained, while also gaining the 1-kill lead, that was magnificent. And they played it so perfectly. It wasn't like the first plasma pistol shot misses. It wasn't like the green light to go. It was, let's take our time. Let's find out where everybody is. Let's dissect this setup and make sure that we're smart about it. That kind of like patience in a game 5 moment like that, G1 shows you that they're here to play.
Yeah, I mean, on the back of that as well, I always like thinking about what's happening from the other team's POV, right? They know they've got Overshield. Everyone's attention immediately. The Overshield player is here. That means 3 other players have got space to do what they want. So just surviving, like Wes is saying, it creates so much space and opportunity.
It does indeed. I think in terms of, timing things like that, what was missing from Native Red there? Because I think allowing the Overshield to get into the hands of G1 at such a tight game like that is very problematic. So what did you notice in terms of the fights that they were trying to have at the power-up and not being able to grab that when they need it?
Yeah, for me, you just go 30 seconds out from that Overshield, right? 30 seconds out, 45 seconds out. Who's taking damage that probably shouldn't have? Who's peeking a little bit extra? And how are you letting the enemy team capitalize on that? I think if you look 30 seconds back, right, they were in battles that they probably were not going to win, and off of the damage, that's how G1 pushes in.
I think on the back of that as well, you have to remember Soul Snipe had the sniper rifle at that point as well. I think it might be Soul Snipe or memory already going here. Soul Snipe it was. I was right, back myself. Yeah. But that's the difference maker. We saw him hit a couple of body shots, just a couple of millimeters away from a headshot, especially the one on the Overshield player. If he clips that head, could be a completely different game.
The one bottom middle was the one that he missed for me, where he tried to quick scope the guy in that key door.
Yeah.
As soon as you miss that shot, he's forced to back up, and because he's forced to back up, he's now surrendered a lot of the ground that would have been able to play around Overshield. G1 immediately understand that that's their opening to take that space, and then they get that Overshield. The push was successful by them. I mean, it was 4 kills that separated the 2 teams in a game 5, for God's sakes. And let's be honest, Native Red was up 2-1 in that series. They're kicking themselves for losing not only game 5, but game 4 as well. Native Red can still get the ball rolling in some great ways, can continue to go through a winner's bracket run if they continue a dominant pool play from this point on. But both these 2 teams looking like they're playing at a high level so far.
Oh, what a great indication. We talked about coming into this event, like how tight everything's going to be, right? I mean, we've seen
no one found what Mega Wise guys had funny besides me.
My God, the game's going to be closer. We've just seen a game 5 there between G1 and Native Red. I mean, trust me, if you're watching this weekend, you're going to see a lot more of that. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I was talking to the Ascend guys right after the series, and I said, listen, guys, you guys need to have your heads up. There was 2 plays that separated you guys from being up 2-1 against Optic. You have a full setup on Street King of the Hill. If you can just get one more round of slays, you win game 1.
Enough for the
game
decent
3,
ping
if
talk.
you can just take
Let's
down
move past that.
Top tower, he doesn't make that play. You win that game 2-0. You move on. You're up 2-1 looking at the game 4 against Optic Gaming.
Crazy.
2 lives could have
Let's see who Regret's best teammate is. We're looking at some best
Optic,
teammates of the
but
Regret.
that's
So
where the
Regret's
great players
best
step in and make
teammates
great plays. That's why Formal
are
and the boys
Chris,
have moved on. But a Cinder right
Coach
there.
Allen.
We've seen how close Native Red and G1 are. There's a lot of competition.
Not too
There
good with
is.
this
There are
TVG.
even moments before.
Not too good with this
top
TVG,
tower
I
with the
regret.
site, where Ascend could have got
Yeah.
so much more ball time as well. And they had everything in their arsenal.
Oh, look
They
at
even
Regret
had
and
only
Dewey
one
playing
player on
together.
Optic alive. They could have grabbed the ball, but unfortunately couldn't find the setup that they wanted, or were unsure maybe where they wanted to set up in terms of the spawns.
Well, a nice
And they
oddball
just
together,
didn't grab
huh?
it. And it's so much time where you see Optic pushing around, grabbing the ball. The objective is the key
How do you guys
for
play
them. I
together, you
think
and Dewey?
that is what really separates some of the top teams here. And we kind of saw as well in terms of the power-ups while we were talking about it. Optic did get pretty much one power-up on Recharge Slayer. Ascend had every single one, but still Optic managed to pull through. So yeah,
Man,
it's about the
you get so many
teamwork and
wins.
the team frame that comes
You
forward.
picked a lot of the same people. You're getting so many wins in
ranked.
ranked. I don't get it.
Ready on the main stage right now. So we're going to toss on over to Sherzy and Gaskin to get this next series underway. Let's go.
Thanks so much, Noddy. Cannot wait to jump into this one. SSG up against E United. Both teams on very different trajectories, it would seem. The complexion for E United is a must-win here.
It is a must-win when you look at what happened in the Grunt Classic that they ran and the disappointing performances. But you look at the
one more round of Slayer.
Very scary team. This could be a real confidence builder for them. When you look at SSG on the other side, having that change, Pelugod not going to be involved.
Oh, true. You
Instead,
changed
you've got the
it. Yeah, I
replacement
mean,
of
I was
Nugget.
looking at it. I was
This
looking
is
at it
going
2
to be a
seconds ago.
difficult series for SSG.
Crow.
Now, the heart of E United has well and truly been
Crow
ripped out. King Nick is
1678,
gone,
right?
Spartan, but the soul has remained with Ryan Noob and Rain. Can those two boys, with the addition of Suspector and indeed Snipe Down, make the difference? Can this team go on a run?
I think this team can go on a run, but it's just a case of actually catching fire.
Probably.
And if you look at who they could have played for their first series of the tournament, I think they'll be counting their lucky stars that they can go up against an SSG roster who have been damaged. Don't get me wrong, if SSG...
YouTube, you die again or what? Tell me, you guys see me, right? That's it. We're gonna change. You guys better hope you guys see me. I'm gonna change to Twitch.
With Pelugod, they really could have put up a fight. I'm a little bit worried after a late change. But you've got to look at who else is there. I mean, you've got tapping buttons. He is the LATAM region. He is what everyone talks about when you look at LATAM and you look at Mexico and you look at how some of these players have come through the ranks. I'm very excited.
Be the difference maker here on King of the Hill streets.
Both individually incredible players, and whenever you're on their POV, they are going to be making a difference. But who can do that little bit extra is going to be my question. We know Eric Rona, Snipe Down, he has been a god of Halo for many, many years. I feel like this tournament, though, is going to be his biggest test yet.
Shields up, weapons hot. It's Snipe Down with the rockets picked
right.
up in tires. We're underway. We're already
You guys want
rolling.
series or match? Who's winning the series or who's winning this match? And do each match. Series or match? Let me know what you guys prefer.
Already, it's some early kills going in favor of Space Station. So United have to be careful here.
Series or
We're already
match?
dead.
Massive confidence booster then for Space Station as they take control of the early exchanges here. And they've picked up one rocket to boot. We're seeing E United spawn down towards bottom tram. An early setup for SSG. Can they make E United pay? Who run out?
Who's winning this match or series? Come on.
And lose 2 members in the process.
This is a fantastic start for SSG. And
Let's do
we've got
series.
Nugget on screen at the moment, the late replacement. You do have to remember, Nugget has played with so many of these players historically in the LATAM region, so it's not like he's going to be unfamiliar with them. And look at how many points they've been scoring. E United on the back foot.
Haha, Mega Flash, yeah, you finally played and you rage quit.
3 go down for Space Station. This push has been successful. They've broken it wide open. 4 dead for Space Station now. Can E United start to pull through the gears?
Boy, did E United need that. Without just that successful break of a setup, it could have been 1-0 down, it could have been confidence broken, and suddenly SSG may have taken full advantage of it, but now Suspector seems to be heating up, has the confidence flowing through his veins, and points finally starting to be scored here by E United.
E United can't afford to lose this hill, as SSG will well and surely take control of the game. They have set up here though. 4 members of E United touch tight. Engagements go down, 3 go down for Space Station, and E United are in control now.
Space Station very keen off spawn to just try and delay United here, to try and stop them scoring a significant amount, but you've got to win your 1v1s. Nugget takes it, and Nugget wins it against the Bulldog. A big one to do onto driveway, but United still have the player advantage, and Rockets are going to be spawning against soon.
Rockets about to pop, Snipe Down. Was the one that got him hands on them last time. But
Oh, yeah, Mega
United
has
will
guy.
secure them. One shot towards the spiker stairs will not connect this time. And numbers advantage in favor. Snipe down hits the shot, the stalker rifle, and 2 go down a piece. It's a 2v2 on the map. Looking in tires. Ryan Noob down to no shield. The red room collapsed, but tapping buttons does not do. No, Ryan Noob is there, but he goes down.
Good grenades from Rhino. But what a manic start this is, as points are being scored, and the point will be secured then by E United. It was definitely a rocky start for them, but now perhaps they can start to calm things down, get a little bit of control. That first hill always is mayhem. It's so difficult to try and control with all the angles you can be in shot from. But now we move over here to Station, where this is a far more comfortable hill to try and hold.
First hill was carnage. Can we settle this one down, gentlemen? Have a nice calm game. Rain positioned over towards Commando, jumps out good trash. 3 members of SSG set up towards tower.
Yeah, these pros are nerds, Mega.
Here, but he's up to wrap
These guys are
around instead.
nerds.
This could be the perfect little angle for him if he can drop down. Shots fired bottom tower. Information coming through. Microwaves 1. It's 2 down for Space Station. About to be 3 as Rain locks in 2 and desperately close to locking in 3.
I'm excited to see what Rain can do throughout this tournament. Chatting to Burns from E United, he said Rain is locked in. He is a player who's just not missing at the
Cast your
moment.
votes. Only have 3 votes. Cast your votes.
Individuals to fall back on, even if team chemistry's not quite there yet. Imagine
The heck
how
was
much
that?
you can do if you're hitting your shots, if you're confident going into every fight. And already we can see this second hill has been.
Come on,
such a
YouTube. Don't
comfortable
disappoint me over here.
Chemistry is so important.
That's
Are
cool.
United still
They should do
gonna
that more
work out
often.
A play style, a rhythm.
What in?
They want to do. They've had scrims. Things have been looking up after the Grunt Classic, but to do it here and to do it now with players who have done it on land before, they've got a champion.
Yeah, I feel like commentators, it's always like
can he be the difference maker here?
the best are always
about,
when they're from the
the pace
UK.
of which Snipe Down plays this game and the pace of which Rhino plays this game. Will it mesh well? Will it work together? Goofy brought up a valid point. They've teamed together in previous Halos, so it's not like they are unfamiliar with one another's strategy and the way
I feel like I'm
they
playing
play
right now, like
which
with
they
this.
play. But I will say that in the early stages
hindrance.
of this game, now they go 2-0 up. This is what we were expecting to see. It was a little bit of a shell-shock start with SSG taking some early kills, but United really have settled into it now.
We're on the road to Worlds here, just 1 month away. I'm a Suspector 2016 finalist with Allegiance. How he would desperately love to be back on that stage once more in Seattle. Rockets in the back pocket, one to play with. Nugget's gonna come in and meet his demise as he goes down. 3 once more for SSG. E United are in cruise control.
Space Station a little bit guilty of kind of funneling themselves in one by one at the moment. It is difficult when you are caught on that spawn trap, and E United really are doing well to focus those individuals and make sure they push, make sure they get those kills. And Space
Want some
Station haven't
Kelleher's
really had that
clueless,
chance to
or
reset
not
ever
today?
since they didn't get that first hill.
Suspector then. Bulldog in PD. Playing a little bit of defense, just setting up around the rest of his team. Information coming through, tapping buttons in tires. No longer, he's been evicted. That Bulldog can have such a
Yeah, no one wants to
massive
sit
impact,
that by themselves without
dictating the pace
protection.
of play, and Suspector has got to be cleared out. He's got to be dealt with by Space Station.
It must be a very weird situation to be in for some of these E United players to come into a tournament and maybe not being even expected to come top 6, maybe even top 8 is what has been questioned for this E United roster after their performance in the Grand
Oh,
Classic.
you rather like
That's going to make players angry, and I think Wes said it best. If you make Snipe Down angry or hungry, either or, he is not going to be a person you really want to go up against.
Hungry for success, no doubt, Snipe Down. His stock has been quite low recently. Can he silence the haters, silence the doubters, as he so often does? Can he go on a run here? Atso, though, looking to stop any kind of run, but currently sitting at 6 and 11. It's not going to be good enough, and for E United, they finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in LAN competitions. They cannot be a million miles away.
Yeah, it's slowly been a decline for E United when you look at those results on paper, but with the changes that have happened, the difficulties they've gone through.
Watch these guys
certainly
play.
not easy
It's
to
like
try and just increase your placements when these changes are happening here
it
and
looks
there.
different than
But
watching
maybe this
a
could be
team
the
like
beginning of something new.
Optic.
As long as they
I don't
can
know.
get to Worlds, you look at these 4 players and you look at what they're capable of. E United will be a real threat when Worlds happens, but it's about getting through this tournament. That's going to be the most difficult part. They're 3-0 up in this game, and it's looking like they're getting into cruise control now.
Looking comfortable. Looking calm and collected. Showing great composure.
Yeah, playstyle just
Early
looks
wobble
different.
The first hill. Things have definitely gone their way. The remainder of the game. Up by 3.
Regret,
now,
you're so
and Space
passionate
Station
when you
have
said
it all
that.
to do. But but not only down the scoreboard, the time is going to start to play a factor very shortly. 2 go down once more for SSG. This is looking good for United.
I will say Nugget doesn't look particularly out of place.
Regret, what do you mean though? What does he have to do with SSG? Is he like a part of it or something?
It's been a huge
I don't get
detriment
it.
to them with him being on the team.
I don't know enough.
Tapping buttons maybe isn't stepping
Teach
up
me.
and performing to the expectations that are on his shoulders quite sometimes, but a very difficult roster that you're going up against here in United, and as we've said, an angry one.
Stevie G. Probably ever since you joined this community, everyone's searching you up.
Very much in control once more, but Space Station are going to be rotating their way around to try
I'm
and
gonna
get
search you right now.
Right now, recognizing numbers
Now that you
not
mentioned
in his
it.
favor and sacrificing a teammate to milk as much time as he can, but Snipedown's got the opening pick here. Now they can start to clap
279.
Space Station desperately trying to cling onto it.
Stevie G.
Rhino
That's
waltzing
Stevie
up.
G.
Bottom middle though. Over towards the cafe. Won't be putting in any orders as Space Station shut that one down.
And United will want to get this done in 4. They won't want to make it a situation where they have to elongate this series anymore. They will see it as a warm-up, considering how comfortable it is at the moment, but it looks like SSG, they are slowly but surely getting through this hill and might be able to put 1 point on the board unless we see one successful push here.
That's so much.
Has to come now though. Haven't button stepped out for a moment. Will that open the door?
Oh, Stevie G, you and Mint don't play too well together.
3-1 the score.
Stevie G plays the most with Mark and Chris, huh?
Will it be more than just a consolation?
With 2 minutes left on the clock and
times
the
I've been
bottom hill
searched?
to be played, the answer would be yes, it is a consolation. It's very
I've been
difficult to
searched
come back when you're
1,341
3-1 down in this
times.
Because E United can literally just slay. They can watch that bottom hill. They can make it very difficult for Space Station. And now, realistically, E United can use this to make sure their shot is warm.
That's
make
that
sure they're
beatdown.
feeling good about themselves and make sure that VR is on point.
Dude, you thought SSG was gonna win this?
Locks in one for his team. Backs down drift over towards tires as well. Numbers advantage once more. Not looking to step inside bottom middle, delaying it just a touch, and like you say, it's time to play Slayer.
And Ryan is just waiting for the drop ball so he can use it to his advantage. He can check those angles. He can make sure that that bottom hill is not going to be taken. And it's going to be a frustrating minute and 20 seconds here for Space Station as they will desperately try and get some hill time, but they are going to struggle to do so. And it was an interesting kind of Mexican
I think people
final
search
from this Space Station
people
roster.
when
Of course,
they get good kills on them or they have big
it was a
games.
bracket
People
reset that was
search.
required
That's
for
just how
them
it
to
is,
actually
right?
win, coming back from the elimination bracket.
Those views are probably
Dominating the
mostly
region for so long, that was a
different people,
surprise.
and are probably a
Shame
handful
that
of us.
Polygod can't be here, as you heard on the desk, one of the best players in the region. But still, I do think this Space Station roster can disrupt this tournament a little bit. But maybe E United is just that little step too far.
Okay, so we know Mark's
Certainly
talking you.
Because on paper, when we analyze it, the former SSG roster and this current SSG roster
Regret, let's see.
and Kansas City both finished in the same position. That was top 16.
Regret
But this is a
has
little bit higher for this team.
1,500
When you look
views.
at what SSG are able to do in their own region and how consistently they are winning their region, and when you look at how you get to Worlds and the fact you've got points, it's almost a shoe-in that Space Station are
Tell you one thing, I'm seeing a lot of melees from these pros.
Really good idea to pick up this
Seeing a
squad.
lot of
We're
melees.
going to be featuring SSG, we're going to see him on the main stage. But when we talk about the ceiling, with Pelugod, yes, I think top 12 is definitely achievable, but suddenly with Nugget, you've got to go back into practicing. And maybe at Worlds, we might see Space Station start to pick it up. But here at Orlando, it's
Yeah, of
very
course,
difficult
anytime you
to
open
just let
it.
Two very different players. But it's a United.
Yeah, to be honest, I have a massive screen and I open all of you guys every day. And I'm just like looking at it. All right, that was an easy dub.
3-1.
That was an easy dub.
The boys in red, white, blue. It wasn't as easy as we thought it was going to be, but they definitely showed signs of life in SSG.
Yeah, it wasn't easy with the first hill, but I think once United had tackled that initial hill, they had regained and wrestled back control. It did become a little bit comfortable.
So you're the
for them.
joke
It
that I
became a
had? What?
position where they looked at who they were going up against and what they were able to achieve, and they said, look, let's just enjoy this one. Let's
My
make sure
70
we're
inch, yeah.
getting all the call-outs on.
I said everyone
we're
open.
making sure our chemistry is right so that we can kind of use this as momentum going into the rest of the tournament. There's the stats on your screen. Snipe Down, 24 kills. I mean, his shot is insane. When you watch Snipe Down play, he does not miss. And if he is playing like that, he is going to be such a fine addition to this United roster.
Oh, that was a
Snipedown
beatdown.
online is a different beast. Taking a look at the damage then. Tapping buttons
Most
and
watched hours?
touched 5K,
Like for
but
YouTube?
Rhino
No.
Clear of the rest of the teams. hitting 6,400. That was super impressive from him.
And we always talk about Rhinoov, you know, being the nerdy player, having the brains, but actually he has the brawn as well. He does that damage. Rhinoov's individual talent in Halo Infinite is unreal. He has so much accolades from other iterations of Halo as well, so you can
I believe that too.
obviously expect it to happen.
You're so competitive.
Add that to then the difficult moments to try and kill Rhinoov, because you never really know where he's going to be on the map. He just manages to pop out of all sorts of crevices and hold.
Yeah, Mark.
And he becomes one of the best players in Halo Infinite, that's for sure.
As far as I've seen on YouTube Studio, I don't have any way to see how many watch hours each person has, but it does show like in comment, if you comment in a video, it shows like their subscriber, their I've hearted their comments, their top comments I've hearted the most.
They're trying to find their identity, their play style. We've always
Yeah,
talked
there's no
about
way.
United being measured, being a little bit slower than the rest of the teams, and Snipedown has been criticized for being a little bit too slow, so there's the potential that he fits on this roster like a glove.
I think so, but the criticism sometimes it isn't necessarily correct, because yes, he can play slow, but as I said, he does like to suddenly...
Guys, I'm gonna do a subscriber night, okay? I have not forgotten about it. I know it's been a little while. It's been really busy weekends, weeks for me, and weekends.
I really genuinely think
busy.
they can shake things up at this tournament, and it will be nice for them, the pressure kind of off their shoulders a little bit. Once they reach that top 12, once they guarantee Worlds, they'll be thinking, okay, we've secured what we, at the very minimum, set out to do. Now let's push further. Now let's disrupt this tournament.
Well, Slayer on recharge is going to be game 2. It's E United, drew first blood. They hold the advantage 1-0 here. And if SSG want to get themselves back into the series, this is the best opportunity for it.
It is, when you look at the pace of which the game started.
Yeah, you have to come in.
Number 1. If SSG can do
I'll schedule it though a few days ahead of time in a community post.
It's
been so busy with weddings and stuff and things going on at church, and I do want to do it soon though.
Snipedown eliminated. 3 dead for SSG for a brief moment. Suspector soars out and locks in 2 kills. Rain picks up the camouflage.
Last time we did was
All
July.
the goodies already going to the boys in E United.
It's been so busy. I had some late nights too since I became a YouTube partner, doing different things, and it's just been busy. Weddings, this and that. I forgot about it though. So I'm gonna do subscriber night, but it would be cool to do a member night one day too. I don't know though, maybe that's something in the future. We have, guys, we have 17 members. We're 3 members away from, we're actually 3 members away right now from 20, which is incredible.
Between the 2 teams now, 3 kills difference. 2 members of SSG set up over towards top control. Rhino picks up 1, tapping buttons, not long for the world either. And they're starting to go up through the gears once more, and SSG are in a bit of a blender.
Really impressive how Rain is reacting to the callouts right now, constantly checking those corners that clearly his teammates have done damage to some of these players, and he's backing up his teammates as well, making sure they don't get taken down too easily. You need a player like that on your team. You need someone who's going to prioritize finishing one-shots, because if you let them get away, suddenly a game could get away from you as well.
Yeah, no.
Rain, a player who has been typically
Gotta figure that stuff out in the future though. Maybe when I add more tiers eventually, I'll have like, maybe the higher tier will be like private game nights or something off stream. I don't know.
He wasn't spoke about enough, but he could be a real difference.
Could be on stream too though.
He does the dirty work. He does these plays that maybe won't be appreciated, that maybe won't necessarily show up on the kill feed if you're not watching.
But subscriber night though, I do want to do it.
I
haven't forgotten about it. I wanted to do it earlier. It didn't happen.
I think that he is going to be a key factor to this squad in this tournament. 14-9. Still plenty of time left on the clock, of course, but Camo is going to be coming up. Drift wants it, but Drift's not going to get it.
It's okay, man.
Gets the player down to no shield. That's going to be Suspector. Desperately trying to
When we do last bar and standing, I'll decide not to melee you for some strange reason, and you'll win again.
Still available. Right to the pick, and if someone so chooses to grab it. Tapping buttons goes down, but it's going to be a trade with
Huey, man, if you killed Mint that one, it would have been a 1v1, me and you.
Been picked up, has it? And indeed, on the floor. Now here comes Rain sliding in, doing that dirty.
I watched the replay, Mint. It's a long time ago when it first happened. I'm like, man, I don't know why I didn't melee this guy. See, I don't get these guys. I don't get these pros. These guys are pros. Why don't they adjust their settings? You see all that blurriness around, right? When you do the camo, you like that stuff? You don't need it. Your guns camoed. I'm so surprised sometimes when I see these pros play, the things they do with their settings. Like they're just pure pros to just play a game. They're not nerds like when it comes to settings. Like I'm just a settings nerd. I change so many things. It really surprises me. Oh, that's a good point, Mint. So it's initial no matter what, right?
You're alone, Tim.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna go watch bottom A. Yeah, they're all A, all A.
Good point.
Two bottom A for sure. Got one.
Nice.
Pipes coming around, coming around.
Dude, watch out, pipes to ledge.
Half wall, half wall. Push an A with me, Amir.
Okay, go.
Pipes, we coming?
Watch spot.
Last guy,
Bottom A, watch out.
C plus one now.
Yep.
Nice.
Gonna be glass now?
Watching it, I'm watching it.
Pushing out.
C plat.
We're gonna need to meet to bottom blue. Blue.
Oh, I think.
We coming to blue. I'm in a weird spot for blue.
I'm coming.
One shot long on me. Got one.
Alright, Amir.
Ah, dude, you went to beat me in the last round standing.
Two top blue.
No, maybe, who knows? It would win 50-50.
Right away.
Watch out, that blue. Two there.
What a nerd. What a nerd. That was such a nerd slide.
Coming C plat. At least one.
Okay, make this
Work too.
On cable popping. Magler side. Might go back to me now.
Yeah. Bottom mid one. Dead.
Dead.
gonna be batteries.
Glass on me. One shot long.
Team comms are so much better.
One shot.
Forget commentators. Just do team comms. What do you guys say?
He's got shock.
What do you guys prefer?
Watch out ledge still.
Pushing on.
We're fine to do this.
He's got shock. One shot somewhere. One shot long. Left side. One shot. He has a grapple. Long again. One shot. Good shot, guys.
Everyone's one shot.
Two shots.
He's sneaky with sniper.
On the middle, I think.
Back up.
C jump. He went up. C flat. Sitting C flat.
Last look at me. One shot here.
Yeah, dude, it's so much better watching like this.
Red B, are we?
Kill me. Repulsor now. Sniping.
I'm with you right now.
Jumping bottom blue.
You don't know Amir.
Always great to get a little listen in to see how the team's
Get out of here!
communicating, and one
We
big
don't want
takeaway
you
I had was
commentators. Give me
you
more
spoke
team
earlier about
comms, man.
Snipe down and how he wants to push in, how he wants to be aggressive. You heard it. Push A with me. I'm here. As long as someone commits to it.
Three members away, people. 3 members away from 20.
And something I can't get out of my head is something that's
Maybe when we get 24 members, we'll do a 12v12 big team battle.
Or out of game. How important is it to have
member match.
trust in your teammates that when you ask for a play call like that, you can hear in the communication. Someone says I'm with
Mint,
you.
I think it's
let's
DVG is
go. How
playing
important
with
is that?
these
It's
guys.
unbelievably important to trust your teammates. I mean, I was part of rosters where I didn't really trust the teammates necessarily.
Oh yeah, by the way, that ranked match that I lost,
believe what they say is
or
true.
if I won, I would have
Whether
got
that's-
Platinum
Is
6.
it actually a
No
one shot?
comms.
Because I've definitely been with players who call out a one shot. Who
I do turn off comms
and
sometimes so
that
I
can
can
get you
like
killed.
talk
But
to you
also
guys
just
and
believing
sing
and
and do
trusting that
whatever,
you can
but
push with
sometimes
them
I
and
turn
do that
comms on
damage
and
you
still
can get that
nothing.
kill and secure it, because then you can really put yourself in a fantastic position to set up.
You know, I really don't appreciate your passive aggressive. You can just say my name in future. But right now, 39 to 32. During the
Was the commentator trying to make a joke there?
Popping off with the shock rifle. He's really put distance between these two teams, but all of a sudden, SSG is starting to creep back into this one.
Yeah, there are better comms when you're in Diamond, but still not the best.
I did say in the previous game, Nugget didn't look out of place.
Just gotta get a team, right? Gotta get a team.
Guys,
maybe this fall I'm gonna assemble a team that can play with me during the day. Same people every time.
To that 50 kill marker with 3 kills going in favor of United.
That's what I
Suddenly
need.
how close it
Daytime
was to
people.
Space
I know how that
Station
guys
very
work,
quickly
unfortunately.
evaporates in front.
Whoever's around during the day, I got a consistent team I gotta play with.
The backpack could come through here. Camouflage has just dissipated.
I would say me,
almost.
Mint, and
Got
Soup
a little bit of trouble.
when the last times they're available during the
see
day, but now
Astro
Soup's
also
gone for
desperately
6
trying to get
months.
away and cling to life, but Snipe Down puts him in the
Cal
grave as well.
Avengers
Down to
assemble.
the top elevator could be about to face the exact same fate, and does. Snipe Down's absolutely cooking here, only requiring 3 more kills.
You can see the confidence flowing through United. They are looking for kills. They're actively looking to try and push in and finish this game off. They're not holding back. They're not playing slow. They want to get this done. They want to get it done.
Mint, you mean you turn off comms?
16,
When you do that?
17 and 10 as he goes down. United require 1 more kill. Is it going to be Ryan New? Player down to no shield. Rain cleans up the pieces, and they double their series lead.
And there was moments.
I mean, Mint, we play well together. We really do. We really play well together. So we need 2 people who can be consistent daytime, but they gotta be probably like teens or early college kids or something. So it's consistent.
It was a very quick decision to push across quickly, push together, and make sure they secure.
Yeah, no one has comms on, exactly.
Give them the control and the dominance, and that period of play where Snipe Down had the shock rifle, it really set them apart from SSG.
Snipe Down proven to be the difference maker at times, but Suspector
Listen,
there
Marcus.
as well. Tail of the tape. What a game he's had.
Yeah, a really good game.
That game seemed like
across the
too easy.
statistics
Like
there,
they're just
17
smashing
kills is gonna be
SSG.
fantastic. On the other side, Nugget with just the 3, and that's when you start to think about the chemistry with being added to a team so late.
Oh, this guy.
I will say that Ryan, even
What's
though
up,
he's
bro?
negative, sometimes deaths are important. Sometimes information is very important, and that's
Flanail,
what
man.
doing well. He's going to be pushing in.
Don't see you around too often, but good to see you.
Look
Look at this regret. You get quick, get back to work.
We'll have a look at the damage as well. Who was the difference maker? Well,
I never played with you, Flanail.
I mean, everyone on a United almost identical when it comes to damage, all playing their part.
Next time,
Are we Xbox friends? I don't even know.
Jets and how they can be important.
Guys, by the way, no one be offended. I've removed some Xbox friends because I didn't really know who they were. I couldn't remember. Sometimes people just accept me friend requests. I accept them. I don't always know. So if anyone got like defriended, don't feel bad. I just didn't know that the name is too far from your YouTube name. I didn't know who you were. I kept the ones who I'm pretty sure I know everyone on YouTube. So because I've gotten friend requests, I never played with them before, right?
And then I want the honesty afterwards.
The spiel is, yeah, you know, I think Space Station, they've shown enough. I think they do have the individual skill. But no, United have been far better. Space Station are going to struggle here, especially when it comes to oddball, especially when it's about setups, when United really going to show their strengths now. That's where Ryan shows what he's made of, right? When you get the strategy coming into things, when his brains can really start to be picked for trying to work out what you want to do, where you want to hold that ball. But do they even need to play in that way? I think United are playing with a certain amount of confidence now. It certainly showed that in that Slayer game with how aggressive they've been. I think they know that they are the better side, and sometimes that's very difficult to go up against a team.
Well, I know. Did you ever send me a friend request?
And United, if they win this series, that'll put them in the driving seat.
Welcome to the chat, though. I haven't seen you much.
Indeed,
Is that the University of Illinois logo you have there?
At the bare minimum to claim second place, but have you seen enough from them that they can be a test to Cloud9?
Again, it goes back to how
it is.
Cloud9
You go U of I?
Cloud9 and United looked shaky in the most recent online.
You go U of I?
LAN is very different, as we are seeing United really impressing us here in their first series of the day. As we start,
I know I've seen your name before in chat, but I know you don't. Maybe you're here often. I don't know, but I know you don't chat much. But good to have you here, bro.
Whatever you see online.
So you're from Chi-Town or what? Are you a Chicago boy like me and Clueless?
I see United up 2-0 here. Sniper rifle in the hands of Rain. See, Mosey's on down, picks up the overshield. All the goodies once again.
Oh,
like
ISU.
Going the wrong direction.
That's still cool, bro. I went to University. I went to Northeastern.
Maybe he doesn't want to, but with the overshield, you've got that freedom.
Sorry, okay.
To get a little bit more aggressive. Gonna have to go up against the
It's a far drive. Far drive from Chicago.
A good start from Space Station.
Classic Peoria.
And that is going to bode well for their chances as this game goes on.
Weapons have gone down though.
Do you tune in often, Fly? You just don't talk much, or you just try to catch a stream when you can here and there?
Often not to play it just yet though. No getting picked up and killed. Under the Nest Bridge. Ryan Noob, sniper rifle in hands.
Yeah, I've seen that name before.
This is one of the tapping buttons, just could not connect, couldn't get the dots.
I've seen that name before.
He desperately scampers away, then waits for the rest of his team to spawn up. But this is better from SSG.
Knock this, bro.
From the United Grunt Classic was Livefire was one of the most common maps where we saw upsets. Whether it be Slayer, whether it be Oddball, whether
Knock
it
this,
be
I'm playing.
It didn't really matter. We were seeing
I'm playing. I'm dominating right now.
And it must just be the pace at which it's being played. Sometimes
I'm shredding.
You can have throughout the entirety of the game, just from the starting strategy, it means that, you know, we are going to see upsets. And right now, this is a bit of an upset. Space Station closing in.
All right, look how good I am. I'm so good.
Haven't really been able to get into this first round.
I do love a bit of live fire. It's where we see overkills. They can be tasty, I'll tell you. 28 points to 2, though. SSG go 3 dead. Spectre picking up a bit of plasma grenades. We'll throw one over towards the pillars. Overshield will be punched into the chest too. That is back-to-back overshields for E United. Although they're down on the scoreline, they're starting to piece it together once more.
He left it late, that overshield, didn't it? It was a slither of health before he was able to actually get that charge, but that's sometimes the difference maker is putting it into your chest a little bit late, and now Spectre is trying to get kills off the back of it. Will be a double. E United starting to get some kills on the board, but the ball time is of course where they're going to be looking. If we do see E United get a proper setup, that will be my question. Can Space Station break it? Because Space Station look great roaming around the map. They're hitting their shots. Individually, they are matching up quite well against E United. But when it comes to...
I mean, man, I love playing with Soup Can, man. I do. Like he and I just click together. It just works. But you know, the kid obviously is not able to play all the time. You admit you're like 24/7 available, so I'm not worried about you. I know you're reliable. Only concern is UK servers sometimes, but I think most of the time it'll be okay. I think. And then we need 2 more who are going to be able consistent, who aren't full-time workers, guys. Who are just slacking off at their job to play Halo.
And that's what we're seeing right now is United uncomfortable in a game where they're currently behind.
SSG creating the chaos. It was Peter Baelish who once said that chaos is a ladder, and it's SSG trying to climb it here.
And if they can get to the top, are they just going to?
I think I've seen White Mamba before.
Swanton bomb off the top and really hit them.
Did you like silently stream snipe me or something, or did we like? Are we already friends? Maybe. I just don't know it. I gotta check now. I know I've seen White Mamba. I know I've seen it. So you're an Onyx player, 1600, nice. Diamond 4 right now. Yes, you're a good player, obviously. Let me check my friend request. I want my friends list. I want to see if we're friends. Maybe we are. I don't know. Get so many friend requests sometimes. I just accept them all, and then I end up removing them after I realize who are these people.
That's what Rhino does. He creeps in, he gets behind, and he steals your girl. And now,
well, Flyno. So I was on Diamond 2, so close Diamond 3 last season, which was the first season I tried grinding ranked, and I'm very new to ranked, and overall, and I'm not sure how long I've been sub before, but
set his sights over towards the garage door with the bushes coming from pillars. This is
but I placed after mid-season reset. I placed Platinum 4. I'm Platinum 5 right now, almost 6. Almost 6.
Snipe down. This is beautiful from him. Rotation coming through to the fresh spawners.
Yeah, not just
that's right, Mint. You better correct yourself. Coolest is Diamond 3. Yeah, regret your trash, bro. I'm kidding. Regret Silver 5. Just dominating Silver lobbies like no one's business.
This should be more ball time for them.
50 points to 36 then in our round number 1. A minute and 24 on the
You
clock.
do, Clueless.
But that starts to play a factor.
Don't even start with me.
Let's just run it down. We've got a lead.
It's one thing that United, I'm sure, will be thinking about. It's something
is the game too loud, the commentators? Like I'm talking over them. Is it too loud? Real lower. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Manages to surprise one potentially. No, unfortunately, the grenade's not really going where he wanted them to.
Heatwave can be a great equalizer, but not utilized this time. There's SSG who scooped up the ball, and they're now threatening to take the lead in the game. It's the Spectre in a 1v1 against tapping buttons. And the Mexican backs himself and secures 1. But the trade will come through. And Nugget eliminates 1 in the window, Ryanu. It's back and forth. It continues to remain scrappy.
Yeah, that clock really is going to be a factor, and you have to be ahead going into these final moments. SSG have the lead at the moment, and they're trying to get that ball away, but it's another overshield for United that could really make the difference in these final moments.
4 overshields. Space Station, as though they don't even recognize it's on the map. They're willing to play without it. But it's FaZe who have the ball. And they're starting to increase their lead now. 3 seconds between these 2 teams, with 40 seconds remaining on the clock.
Did see Nugget with a sniper rifle, but it was
those are so loud. I can still hear. I can still hear them.
United gain the lead. 35 seconds left, and they can start to create a bit of a gap here before they even start to think about playing Slayer. Because once Space Station maybe get a couple of United down, that's when Rain will be thinking about tossing it out into the open and just playing time here.
Mamba, I definitely saw you one of my lobbies then. 100%. Sneaky man over here.
But this game is so close.
100%.
If SSG can get their hands
oh, I know now. Where I was. Last one standing somewhere. I know I've seen that name.
To make this a tougher task than it needs to be.
This is the push from Space Station now. They've managed to get 2 dead on the side of a United. They are collapsing, but 10 seconds left. You've got to go now. But Spectre from behind enemy line.
Or did you message me after? Did we play each other before you found me on YouTube? Help me out here, White Mamba. Come on. Help me out here. Did we find each other on YouTube one time? Or did we message me and I said, hey, come visit me on YouTube? Or after a match? Or a good game or something? I know that name's familiar, bro. Anyways, feel free to send me a friend request if you want. And maybe sometime we could run a couple of ranks and see how we do together.
but they just need to find their way in those final
Clueless,
moments.
it's been a crazy week for me too, man. It's been.
Not feeling the pressure at all.
Today was a very encouraging. Today was a very encouraging day so far, guys, and I appreciate that.
Pool play, that's not when the pressure starts to be cranked up, and you can see here, Snipe down to the 1v1. Comes out.
I mean, Jared with a $100 donation. Are you serious right now?
From Suspector. Double kill, all
$100 donation, people, from Jared. He told me $2 a kill and $5 an overkill, which I did not get. Then we have Infinite Jest with a sticker showing some love, big heart and stars sticker, $20 donation. A Stevie G, 1,000 pesos. And for all those Americans out there, it's $50 US, just about. Then Mark, #1 Halo streamer, YouTube, let the good times roll, $5 donation. Awesome. I read them in order, just backwards. So guys, you guys made this day a lot better for me because I was getting very discouraged this week due to the low view counts. To be honest with you guys, pretty low view counts. Even for the Halo stream, I'll say it's a Call of Duty, but even the Halo stream, was really low. Unlike the usual, how busy we get. And you know what it is? It's more. I have more fun when I have more people here watching. Right? It's more fun. You know, we got 20, 30 people in here. It's a lot of fun. But those 3 that hang around still, I appreciate you guys so much. Don't get me wrong. But it just gets, you know, now that I'm a YouTube partner, it's like, what the heck, YouTube? Why aren't you pushing me to more people, right? Why is it so low? Good day on Monday. I've been Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are just weird. Today's a good day, though.
That's the space station. Have to worry about them all this time.
And they worry, and Nugget does clean him up as well. Great shots from Nugget. Very important to take.
Oh, Hitman knocked this. I tried Hitman. Yeah, I tried it on Google Stadia actually. I had it for free or something, trial or something. It's a cool game, but it doesn't really hook me. I need a game. I usually like games with more like in-depth story and stuff, not just like a game you could do. It's more like it's almost like a sandbox stealth game, right? Which is cool. But it never really clicked for me. It's a cool game though.
25 seconds to change. This is all the score, the points that SSG need. The fights are happening elsewhere.
Right now, Clueless, yeah, but I mean, it's in general though.
Still in favor of
in
SSG.
general, I mean,
they're playing this one perfectly thus far.
Weird week.
This is a little bit worrying for United.
But it's okay. We'll get back.
When we talk about breaking setups, and I said, how are Space Station going to do breaking them? How are United going to do breaking them? They've got the entry onto Drift, but Atso is a phenomenal position there to make sure he closes the gap and kills that player very quickly. And even though United have done well to stop the ball from being had, the setup is kind of still there here for SSG.
United just have not got. United just have not got tabs on the SSG players. The information just isn't there. And perhaps because this team hasn't been around for so long, that is why they find it so difficult to break the setups. They have now done that. They lost 46 seconds as a consequence, but they're already starting to eat up that lead.
Small mistake there maybe from Atso not playing that ball. Was confident in his sticky grenade. He really did believe in it. He looked up to the heavens and hoped it was going to connect, but instead, it means that United were able to get a few points on the board. And Space Station just need to be careful with small mistakes like that, because teams like United will really capitalize from them.
SSG still have ball in hand, though. Has been dropped for a moment. Perhaps it's because the ball carrier was Nugget. He has gone down. But Suspector, he's more interested right now in the overshield, securing it for his team, but he's been tagged up by tapping button. Throws a frag grenade over towards the overshield, manages to get one with the help of Ryan New, but Atso has secured the overshield, and all of a sudden, SSG looking a different beast.
SSG,
ooh, juicy. I want some pizza.
That's really good. It
and
did
dinner
seem
in a
like
few
they'd
hours
forgotten
though,
about
so.
it initially, but the overshield goes to waste. It gets very quickly annihilated by United. 28 kills at the moment across the board for Rain. Snipe down did have the sniper. That could have really made a difference as well.
More ball time then. A 1 second lead. However slender as it is. Got to this point in the last round. That was when United stepped.
Why does it
the
look
gas.
so bad? What happened?
They do the same thing once more. Sniper
Sorry,
rifle,
guys.
trained over top middle front.
It dropped to 720. I mean, they're just smoking them anyways. They're gonna win. Sorry, I should.
For a moment, Nugget down to no shields after that body shot.
I don't know why. Should I go back to Twitch?
has to drop back.
I want to support YouTube, you know what I mean?
SSG off the dribble, the ball over towards Garage. It's the first time the ball's been there in a very long time.
What is this crap?
Lead again, and this is almost deja vu from round number 1, where the timer starts to tick away. Space Station have a little bit of a lead, but can they clutch up in those final moments? Here comes the collapse from United. They notice 2 players on their own, and they take.
Player down bottom middle.
That should be better now.
Remains the point of contact. 1v1 goes down, but Ryan Noob there on hand to help, but trades is all E United need to do here to maintain this lead. 76-64, and all of a sudden they're creeping away.
Space Station do have to be careful not to just be sending players individually to try and break setups here. They need.
It might be my internet though.
This is the push for Space Station. They've got the ball. Atso has been able to put himself.
Fiber, guys.
Overshield also
Coming soon. I can't wait. That's when my channel. We gotta take off when I got fiber, right? Oh yeah, my internet's acting up.
Not to look for the overshield set. Prioritizes going for the ball. He knows how much SSG need ball time here, and it looks as though with the right call, as 3 go down for SSG. And because Rain could get behind enemy lines, he's broken that setup wide open.
Yeah, which isn't good for engagement for people when they're watching a small content creator. That's for sure.
Tower, you get a significant amount of time here, but are you going to be in a position to play that ball if you don't get the kills?
17 seconds is all E United need to complete the clean sweep. Can SSG break this setup? This is the last push. They have to go now.
Did they have a chance? Think they're gonna get it right here?
Rain says, you know what? Screw green side. I'm gonna go over towards overshield side.
Look at EU. They're slaying, man. 30, 29, 31 versus 27, 29, 17, 14. Man.
Away like Captain Jack Sparrow into the night, and it's going to be a clean sweep for E United. They start off pool play as cool and calm as you like.
E United needed this. They needed that confidence builder after a disappointing performance online, but LAN is a completely different animal. And E United, if this is the beginning, if this is maybe the worst they're going to play all tournament long, I think we're in for good things as the tournament goes on, because I saw enough to suggest that individually they are all on point, they're hitting their shots. As soon as now you start to get that structure, you start to get that balance of how they want to play this game of Halo Infinite, E United are going to disrupt the top teams at this event.
Well, there were some people, there was whispers in the night that this E United team might only finish top 12. They just handled a top 16 team with ease, relative ease it must be said. They're going to be a real problem for any team in that top half, like you say.
I do think so. And maybe a top 3 is a little bit of a stretch, but certainly from 4th onward, E United are certainly going to be looking to try and make a difference in that kind of area. There's the stats on your screen. It was Snipedown who did get the most in the end with 32, but everyone was playing their part. I will say that I've been a little bit harsh on SSG. I know that they are going through a very difficult time having to make that change. Individually, we saw some very promising moments from SSG. They were winning some battles that I wasn't expecting them to. They are some incredible players from that LATAM region, and I do think as this tournament goes on and that chemistry starts to build between them, they can really, maybe challenge some of these top 16, top 12 teams that they have played before, have beaten.
I was gonna do a grass emoji.
They can catch fire. Keep an eye out on SSG.
You speak about catching fire.
A touching grass emoji? I was thinking about doing
fire from a game
when we get to, I think, 20. I'll wait till we get to like 20 members. I'm gonna do a very special emoji coming soon.
He's done a damn good job in filling in, but
a very funny emoji coming soon.
3-0 and they move on.
And they will have looked at this series, Space Station, and probably expected to lose against E United. Maybe had a glimmer of hope after seeing E United's performance in the online tournament, the Grunt Classic recently. But E United.
Oh, guys, another sub. Thanks so much, man. Whatever that was, I appreciate it.
When it comes from online to LAN, and also how much they've learned in those last few weeks, in those practices, in those scrims that they've had since the Grunt Classic. Because I think sometimes you just need to kick up the backside, and that's what E United had in the Grunt Classic. They said, okay, we're clearly not good enough at the moment. What do we need to change? And suddenly, when they make those changes, they can be a very big threat in this tournament.
And for E United, you have to say they've already got 1 foot towards Worlds. That's 1 go up in the pools. They finished top 2. And that's pools all taken care of, you would say. But Blaze has got an interview. Take it away, fella.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Shergy and Gaskin. Orlando, give it up for E United one more time. Coming out on top, 3-0 in that victory. And we got a double interview for you guys. I got Ryan Noob and Snipe down on the stage. Ryan, my first question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much
not right now, regret.
that matchup?
Oh, honestly, about an 8.
About an 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're off though. Would have been a good time to do it.
I mean, not for them, I'm sure, but for me.
Yeah, and why was that for you? You know, the squad is new coming out here, and also tell me about, you know, how do you feel with the chance of being able to play with Snipe Down and the new team change coming in lately?
Dude, he's an absolute legend, and I'm glad to have him on the team. It's absolutely showing. Once he comes to land, he's showing how good he is. Now it's my turn. I got to find my place on this team.
And where would you like that place to be on this squad here?
Oh, dude, I mean, before it was a main Slayer. I mean, as much as funny as that is, but now I got to figure out the gaps that I got to fill. You know, it's weird in game sometimes.
I mean, I was on it earlier, and then
let's talk to your teammate Eric over here, and now you know. Here with United, okay,
we're down
hear
to run a
Ryan
couple
talk
with
about
you
finding his place as the Slayer on his team. How are you finding your place?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I came into this team really excited. I thought Ryan was one of the best players in the game. He's got a really good head on his shoulders and just has a good idea of how he wants the game to play. And it makes
Man,
it
you don't
really
have grass
easy
in the
for me
UK?
knowing how I need to fit into this into the system.
Nice, nice. Now, how did you feel about this matchup? Finally playing with these guys for the first time on LAN. You know, what was your experience, and anything you want to say out to the fans out there as well?
Yeah, just, I mean, obviously, thank you for the continued support. I know I've been up and down throughout Halo Infinite, so it's fun to be on a roster that, you know, is still getting a lot of traction, still getting a lot of support, regardless of what team I'm playing for. So that's really cool. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's always the game one of LAN where the heart rate starts pumping and you're just excited to get into the game. It's like, all right, here we go. This is it. It sets the momentum for the whole weekend, and I'm glad we came out strong.
Yep, you guys came out to a great start. And lastly, Ryan, anything you want to say to the United fans and people that support you?
Hey, love the fans, love the family, love the friends out there as well. I've got so many of them out there.
It's all brown, but it rains so much. You should have nice grass over there.
All right, yo, one more time. Give it up for United on the main stage, everybody. That's going to do it for us. Lottie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Blaze. Always good to hear from not one, but two of the teammates on the main stage, especially after a very clean 3-0 sweep on that series. And Clutch, you know, we talked about Snipe Down before, how he was going to fit in, how he was going to look with the United, especially coming into LAN off the EU Grunt Classic. My goodness, they are here to play, and he was looking damn insane individually as well with this United roster.
Yeah, Snipe Down looked great, and I mean, expect nonetheless, especially when you put a chip on his shoulder, when all the questions around why is Snipe Down not on phase, where is Snipe Down's career headed? I mean, he's got so much talent, and it never surprises me when he pops off. It wouldn't shock me if he just hit his rhythm this tournament, especially with the construction of this United roster that does have a lot of formulated plan around how they want to play. I feel like that's always going to benefit Snipe Down and his ability, because everything makes sense, and when everything makes sense to Snipe Down, he takes over.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Snipe Down put it best, of course, himself, saying he knows exactly where he needs to fit in the system. For me, I've mentioned this to you guys as we were preparing for this tournament. Watching Snipe Down Sunday at the NA Super, I think, reminded people this guy knows when the big days are up for grabs. He's here to play. He knows what he needs to do, and I think he's going to remind us of that once again at this tournament.
Yeah, indeed he is. And I got to say, it was interesting also to hear from Rhino and where he says he's going to try and find himself fitting into the team. What did you make of that? Because it looked like he fit in perfectly fine, especially in that first map. I mean, he had the most damage across the board out of both teams on there. You know, he's pretty much the biggest all-rounder that we had on that main stage.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I always respected about the way that Ryan approaches the game and, you know, the profession overall is he's always looking for ways to improve not only himself, but how his team plays as well. And I think that's just a kind of a bit of a testament to his attitude, saying, you know, even though he's had a great series, he's still trying to find out how he can make not only himself, but the rest of his team better as well. So I think it just says about Ryan Eve's attitude. He's one of the best in the game for a reason.
He really is. I say United looked absolutely incredible in that series on that stage. On the other side though, Space Station Gaming obviously taking their new squad for a whirl. Didn't quite happen for them, although closely fought in that last oddball game. You know, we talked about Nugget coming in last minute. A really difficult replacement for this team. How did they adjust? I mean, Nugget didn't have the greatest first two maps, but I felt like there was improvement in the third. What did you make of it overall?
Yeah, it's tough because, I mean, we're comparing them to an United team that is just flat out better than them, right? And we'll learn a lot more about Space Station as we go, but Nugget had some moments in that series where he was holding his own. He wins massive one-on-ones against Rain at one point that I thought was going to turn the tide of one of the oddball games, but I mean, when you're trying to turn the tide, it does take more than just one kill, one BR fight that you're able to come out on top of, but there were glimpses of hope, I'd say, for SSG, especially with their venture for that top 12 spot at the end of the week.
I think the difficult thing here for Space Station is the fact that Paley was such an aggressive slayer, wasn't he? When we were watching him in the MX regional finals and all the way through that tournament, he was the guy who was kind of slightly high sense player, you know, just whipping that BR around, taking fights, picking up doubles. It's difficult to replace that kind of player with a like for like, because they're kind of few and far to come between, right? So I think they've had to adjust the play style, and I think as they get more games under their belt, we're going to see Space Station start to find a little bit more rhythm.
Well, I hope so indeed. I tell you what, though, incredible stuff, and honestly, don't mind watching that happening, especially with United heating up to see what they will do later on. We're actually going to jump into the B stream right now on a Sentinels versus Na'Vi game. Na'Vi up 1-0 in the series. So we're jumping into game 2 right now. Sentinels up 35-29 in this recharge Slayer. TriCast once again, let's take it away.
Yeah, I'll jump in here because it's a very interesting series for sure. I mean, Na'Vi won up. I watched that game backstage as well. When it went down to that bottom middle hill, they won by 1 hill on King of the Hill Street. So it was an extremely tight game. I'm not expecting too much from Na'Vi on this second game, to be honest with you, because Na'Vi and Recharge, I've got to be honest, they've never looked good. And they're struggling here as well.
Where the cams at?
Beauty of being able to play up 1-0 in the series, though. All Sentinels trying to do tie this one up. If Na'Vi were able
Your
to
team,
pull
man, Sentinels.
upset here in game 2, that would be just such a massive opportunity to potentially try and close out a series with 3 games ahead of you still left to play. 5 kills separate the 2.
Infinite, man. My yard is so good right now.
And that is what is important at the end of a
If you have kids, though, so it's
once
different.
again, for a second, it was within 4, but this
You don't,
is
Infinite, you don't teach your kids clean up, clean up, clean up.
2 dead for Na'Vi for just a moment, but should be a little bit of a snag there on the power-up, make it a 5-kill difference yet again. Snaky answers back.
There's an opportunity here. I'm not sure who picked up the camo, if it has been burnt or if the player is alive. It looks like all players on Na'Vi have fallen. So even though that camouflage did go momentarily into their hands,
Regret, I'm waiting for that picture on Discord. Members only chat of you shirtless, taking your shirt. I want a video. I want a 5-second video, 7-second video of you taking your shirt off and doing a roar. A hype roar. That's what I want in the members only channel on Discord, bro.
Lethal trying to be aggressive on that.
90s were the best.
They might just get out of that, by the way.
90s were the best in almost every way,
They get
dude.
the kills they need. They flush out elevator. They're gonna flip the map. And they have a 5-kill lead once again to play.
The 90s guys, man, were so good. Like, music was amazing, okay? TV was amazing. Cartoons were amazing, okay?
And they actually pick up those kills uncontested in the end.
I think the craziest thing for me is there was 2 players desperate.
I could imagine Infinite. Oh, there's Dewey.
By surviving, he ends up with a double kill.
Dewey wanted to see it too, see?
I don't know what it is.
You want to know what I do like? I like when I'm able to look at the scoreboard and see Snaky with 13 kills right now.
Yeah, that's premium content. He's pretty sure he's asked me for royalties to send his premium content on my members Discord channel. Now I know, Dewey, you're so quiet.
They're up 1-0 in the series, down 47-41 now, though. It does look like Sentinels are on the edge of time.
Which is okay. I just have to get used to it.
Frosty picks up that 49th, and you would expect in a few seconds time for maybe Jimbo to be the final victim. Instead, it's going to be Mighty's. Frosty gets that 50th, and we're tied up at 1-1. But we said it was going to be competitive here in Orlando, and you're going to be bored of us saying it by the end of the weekend. But there's an example of it, right?
I tell you what, that tells me way more about Na'Vi than it does Sentinels, that game. They kept it close. Na'Vi,
that's awesome, Infinite.
You know, obviously, taking the first map in
80s
itself
power.
is a huge feat against Sentinels, obviously our KC champions. But Na'Vi showing up in that Slayer as well, keeping it as close as possible. And we see that often with our top teams going up against each other in a Slayer.
It was honestly a blast. I remember going to a show in...
I know there's been a couple of team changes since the last time we saw Na'Vi over on American
Milwaukee?
soil, but it was a disastrous performance that they put on the last time.
I remember going to a show in Milwaukee, and I watched...
if they were able to come here this time around and beat a team like Sentinels. I mean,
in Milwaukee, and I watched them. I watched the Google. I saw the Goo Goo dolls. Those Goo Goo dolls. Ask how many. Ask how many gen. What's the generation these days? XYZ. Ask the generation of today. Ask them.
However, they're Friday and they're Saturday.
Who the Google dolls are? No one to know who the Google dolls are.
And you and I often ask, should we even worry about Sentinels? Personally, the fact that it's 1-1, I don't.
Nothing, dude. Don't worry. You haven't missed anything yet. I'm waiting for Regret to send something.
But I think maybe Eli, G1's coach, put it better.
But I did DM you, Dewey. If you want to check that really fast.
Tournament is going to be a lot of
responded to my
teams out for
DM.
blood, and we're already seeing that here early on in day number 1.
Just keep it in mind as well. I mean, you're looking at
Goo
Na'Vi,
Dolls.
the
What was the
European
main song?
roster,
I can't
a lot of
remember
people
now.
would be placing them, third in the order, right? You would be
I
saying
can't remember now
Zen,
their
probably
main
the best team
song.
in Europe at the moment.
Everyone
You've got
knew
Quadric
that
in
song.
behind them.
Yeah.
Na'Vi very close, I would say, especially after the EU regional where we saw
Formed in
kind of games
86.
and series being exchanged by those two. But I mean, that just shows, right? We've seen Ascend on the main stage.
No,
they're
that
very close to
Iris.
really
Maybe it was
up-
Iris.
causing some problems for Optic. And to tell you what, I'm proud to be European.
B52.
I'll tell you
Maybe
what,
it was
you'll be
Cyrus.
prouder because we've seen Ascend so far. We just had a sneak peek.
Oh,
of
yeah,
Na'Vi,
Infinite.
and up next, we have Quadrant on the main stage going up against G1. I'm going to say it all day long. It's going to be an absolute banger. But with another 3-0 across the board here at the Orlando Major, E United showing up in their pool so far.
I'm with
Can
you
they
with that,
continue
with
their
those
run?
guys too.
We'll find out.
I'm with you with those guys too. What was the song? What was the song? Let me see. Goo Dolls top songs. Iris. Yeah, I'm trying to hear it. What's it sound like? Was it Iris? Man, I want to play it right now, but Better Days? Broadway. That was the song. That was the song for Google Dolls. Broadway. Oh man. I need to bust out the dolls. I need to bust them out. Wait, hold on. Time out. Okay. Time out. Clueless. What do you mean when you say modern 70s style music just stresses you out? Are you saying when people make the music now, but to make it sound like 70s? Or are you saying music in the 70s stresses you out? I need to know this before I play any more music, before we proceed in a minute 30 with the HCS. I need to know the answer. So I'll wait quietly and patiently for you to tell me if 70s music stresses you out. Okay, so you're saying just modern band. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good, Clueless. We're good, bro. Because okay, guys, you have to understand something. The 70s, music in the 70s, I mean, all the kids these days are missing the music that we've had in the 70s. I mean, the 70s were some of the best times for music and artists and bands. So if anyone rips in the 70s, they don't understand or know what music is. Now we proceed with HCS.
Hello, Halo fans, and welcome back to the Orlando Major live from the Orange County Convention Center. And I'll tell you what, it's warm outside in Florida, but it is a lot warmer in
I love
here
80s.
because our action
I'm not going
is
to fight you on
fire.
that. I love
That's
80s.
right. It's going to be absolutely
You
incredible.
could like
We've got
80s more in
another
70s.
amazing
Just don't
matchup
rip
on
on the
main
70s.
stage. I'm joined by
But I understand now
Walshy,
you weren't ripping on the 70s.
Jersey.
You were ripping on
Walshy, I've got to ask
B52.
you, man, it's lovely to have you up here, but how do you feel about this matchup, G1 versus
Oh yeah, gloves are coming off, Mark.
G1 looked really good in their first
I was ready to
series.
challenge him
It
to a
looked
1v1
very
melees
first against
only
Native
in
Red.
Halo
I got
Infinite.
to pass that first match with Golden Boy.
Which
and,
actually is a
they just
really
won
good
out. I mean,
idea.
they lost
Can I do that?
games. They lost
In custom
all the
games,
streets,
we have
and then they
just
lost
pure
5 by
melees.
oddball. But overall,
That's
I
a
think
custom
this
game
G1's
idea,
best
guys,
to lose. Even
for
though
Sub
Quadrant's
Night.
looking strong.
That's a
Okay,
custom
well, I love
game
that
idea
you
if
can
I've
give us
ever
our inside
heard
scoop
one.
on G1 and how they've been performing, especially as you casted that series before. But I'm really excited about this one. I think if we
I
look
love
at
80s
G1,
hair
we take
bands.
them
And your
first.
Camaro
I've
clues,
got to
I
say,
love
it's going to
it.
be a bit of a
That's
test for them,
amazing.
I think, in this land, just in
That's
terms of their
great.
confidence heading into it. Obviously, tournament results and scrims online haven't been the best so far for them.
Like
But
the
looking
patch
to make
mode?
a big splash here in Orlando, and this time around, hopefully breaking into top 6. But Quadrant, they're looking to cause more upsets. So how do you think G1 are going
Marta,
to
what's going on? Martin.
The North American bias already coming through from Walsh, by the way. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable. I think this is going to be a really, really interesting series. You know, G1 coming into this event, we know they got second place in the
This is
Super,
big.
but
This is
we know
big.
that's an online
Could be good.
competition. G1 recently, and I mean over the last couple of weeks, the scrim results have started to just fall away a little bit from where they were, and I wonder if that honeymoon
Halen.
period with Boo Boo joining the team is
How about
starting to
Duran
wear off
Duran?
a little bit, and if they can get better than where they already are. That's my question. Quadrant, we know on Lana, absolutely ridiculous. Snakebite said on his stream recently, he was like, Quadrant, when we played against them in KC, the best team we played against in KC. They were hitting absolutely everything. It was ridiculous. It's interesting to see if Quadrant are going to be able to match that KC performance. I think this is a very interesting series.
I think this G1 team is very, very special. With the addition of Boo Boo Doo Boo, he's been a real game changer. He's pushed them from arguably a top 12 team to a top 6 and beyond. They finished second in the Super, and a lot of people are irritated when we're predicting them outside of the top 4. Just we need to see it on land now. This is where they need to
Hungry
step
like
up.
a wolf, that's
They've
what
already
it's called.
taken down Native Red, who are a top 6 team, so
Hungry
they're
like
showing
a
that they've got the credentials.
They certainly do, and there was a lot of eyes talking about Boo Boo on him at the NA Super to perform, and boy, did he. But are those eyes still on Boo Boo coming into this land, or are there other members of this roster that people are going to want to pick out, Shurs?
Well, Switch is a player you have to keep your eye on. Pre-Devinator as well. The whole team, they really know their roles, and Boo Boo Doo Boo came in here, I think, on phase, he was subject to having to play a certain type of role. The rest of the players sort of demanded that sort of Slayer role, and Boo Boo Doo Boo has come in here, and now he can start to dictate exactly what the team do, and they all sing from the same hymn sheet. I think keep your eyes on Swish and indeed Pre-Devinator. They can be the real X factor.
I'll tell you what, I've got my eyes on something, and that's the neon green on the other side of the stage, and that is going to be Quadrant. And at Kansas City, this team came very close to taking down our last major champions. They placed obviously top 8 alongside Ascend, but I'm certain Quadrant are looking to change their narrative this time around at LAN. Now, how do you think they can make a start of that against G1, Walshy?
Well, first off, they can have their jerseys reflect over the other side of the stage and blind them a little bit.
Wait, this is
Man,
smart.
that's
This is
bright.
really smart.
Yeah, I mean, they're changing the game right now, but I mean, ultimately, EU, like I said in a previous interview, is the level in EU has stepped up in Infinite, without a doubt. The one point I made previously was that it used to be a rare occurrence that we'd see like a top 6 showing from an EU team. And now every single event, I'm like, yeah, we're going to have EU teams in the top 8, top 6. You know, it's like, it's not too much surprise. All that being said, what Quadrant has going for them is unpredictability. These NA teams, we are in a bubble here. We study ourselves. We only look within that competition. And until these EU teams start consistently taking out other top juggernauts out here, they're going to be able to fly under the radar, which is a huge advantage for Quadrant.
I think for Quadrant, they've gotten some extra reps on land. They finished runners-up to Ascend at Valencia. A best of 7, they pushed it all the way to the Slayer, and they were bitterly disappointed to come up short there. I think for this Quadrant roster, they've stuck together. They know exactly what they need to do here, and I think this is the sort of game they need to play to show that they can do it on a consistent basis. And I think against G1, this is the perfect test.
One thing for Quadrant to keep in mind, though, is there's 2 quadrants that you can see, right? One is the quiet quadrant, kind of go about their business, and one is a fired up quadrant. I almost want Quadrant to lose a series early on at this event to get that fire out of them, because if you go back to the E region when you watched it, Na'Vi beat them comfortably in the winner's bracket. Jimbo was sitting there with his hands behind his head in an oddball game.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, get around, I get around, ba-da-da-doo,
they wanted revenge, and I think they needed a little bit of a fire lit under them, Quadrant to see the best out of them, but they always say as well, we are a land team, we love the land environment, we play our best Halo on land, and trust me, they're going to be dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know they're going to be dangerous because I was speaking to SLG yesterday, and he gave me a little bit of insight into the team, how they're working, their playstyle, what they've been working on. They tell me that they literally can handle every map and mode you throw at them. They're not really good at something, but they're not really bad at anything either. And they said that honestly helps them counter most teams. So when it came to Sentinels, they were kind of able to push through because some of the weaker maps of Sentinels, they were pretty good at. You know, they're kind of good at everything. And I think in terms of the kind of pools we have, the game modes, we have 17 on the board, which is huge. So being good at everything is definitely going to weigh in their favor at some point in time. And then the other thing was the fact that their readability has definitely improved, and SLG really kind of pushed upon that. They're able to read what teams are doing really, really well, even with non-traditional players like Sentinels, and that's what we saw back in Kansas City. You know, Sentinels don't have a traditional way of playing, but Quadrant read into that, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do. So I'm looking for that countering against G1 later today. Shows, what do you make of some of the SLG comments?
Well, something you touched upon it perfectly. I think I was speaking to SLG, and he spoke about how they played against one of the LATAM teams in Montenegro, and that they would have preferred to play game 1 against G1 or Native Red, so they could start off hot and, you know, really sharpen their tools. But they feel like G1 might have a slight advantage here, that they got to play against another top team, and they could be coming into this a little bit hotter. I don't know if that's mentally going to play into already giving up excuses as to why they're going to lose this one, but I'd love to see Quadrant come out hot here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they're going to be coming out hot, especially with a player like Chick on their side. Our AMD power performance, of course, is going to be this guy. I mean, Chick has been insane, the best overkill we have ever seen so far, and I still have Dan's scream in my ears ringing because of how insane this guy can be. And look, what does he bring for this roster? You know, Quadrant really needs some powerhouses, and my goodness, Chick is one of them.
Yeah, it's just straight up damage and slaying power. End of the day, we always highlight objective efficiency when teams are even in slaying power, but that's one thing that has been the difference maker in previous years compared to now between EU and North America. Is back in the day, just that slightly little better of a shot, slightly little better positioning.
The blind,
that doesn't exist as much
blind,
anymore here in Infinite.
Yeah, I agree. I think I
can't
read Chick's name anymore without hearing Shirts.
Stevie.
It's a lot better than hearing, you know, when I heard Gatson scream like that, when it was a spider out here, I was like, all right, I'd rather have scream about an overkill than like...
yours was more composed.
Show some respect to Stevie G.
Dan lost it.
You were both.
I don't condone cancel culture, but I'm
tempted is a level of confidence and self-belief that he doesn't kind of let emotions get override him. The game situations never override him. Very, very level-headed individual personality. And you need someone like that in those clutch moments. He's not going to get carried away with the moment.
Yeah, Martin, why is your phone always dying, bro?
As if it's the first of the game.
Yeah, it's the confidence, right? And like you said on set,
guys, Martin is super speed kit in Discord, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
Not to hop on it too much.
Metallica.
How to do it respectfully so that he knows he's not going to get hit. So smart. are so intentional. And we see that time and time again with him. And it's great to see playmakers. Chick is one of those. He brings so much on offer with this roster.
He's a special player is what Chick is. And the team he hit that overkill against, it was G1. The players across the stage.
That's right, Clueless.
So Dubu was the only difference that team that didn't
Least
feel
favorite.
the wrath of Chick. He's cool, calm, and collected in the big game moments, and I expect to see a big performance from him.
Indeed, there's going to be a very big performance happening from both of our teams on that main stage right now, but it is time to head over to our casters. Let's get this game underway.
Get the game underway. Let's go. Okay, here we go.
Thank you so much, Lottie. Goofy here, joined by my man Clutch. And Clutch, it feels great to be back here in Orlando for the final major of the first Halo Infinite season, and I could not be more excited about this next matchup. Clutch,
Clueless, I agree.
I mean, let's start with G1, right? After the super performance that they had, the second place, unbelievable from them in that online tournament, and you wonder, are they going to be able to transition to LAN? Because if they are, they can be a contender here at HCS Orlando, and that would be a massive opportunity for these guys, representing an up-and-coming orb, and everything that this org embodies is something special. Everything that they're doing is the right thing. They're trying to innovate the way that esports is being done in an organization, and these players are starting to feel that fuel from that org. The passion's there, everything goes right, and on the side of Quadrant, a second place over in their region, but this team is as scary as it comes, led by Chick, one of the best players, if not the best player in Europe. So much talent.
Okay, led by Chick.
We're hopping right into it.
No one's gonna know. If someone could guess this.
On recharge here with Boo Dubu from G1. Boo Dubu has been playing out of his mind ever since joining this team, grappling up towards top red, taking down Chick right off the bat. Good start here for G1.
Trades across the board though, so Boo looks across the map. His entire team's gone down, but he does have pipe control right now. Now with Shock Rifle on his back pocket.
No one's gonna guess it. If
someone
can guess this, if someone could guess this, who's Chick? It's in a sitcom, and he's not a main character. He's in like one episode, and one of the main characters in the show was hanging out with someone named Chick. If someone could guess this, the sitcom, I'd be incredibly impressed.
Player in the Halo team for quite a while as he finally gets taken down, and Swish, Clutch, we were talking about it, and you were saying Swish, arguably the best player on this G1 team, and that's
okay, CFG, first of all, the fast food of music, fast food's amazing, so the argument doesn't stand.
That this G1 team has had the success that they've had as the recent. The big
Okay,
question for me is
they said they're talking about this guy Chick, right? So who
this is a massive opportunity. Switch's best team
who
in his young career.
there's a TV sitcom, and one of the main characters, they had a friend in one episode, and his name was Chick.
Some points on the board for
In one episode, his name was Chick.
Goes down. Nice trade there out of Swish.
Just hanging out with him at the bar. That helps. From a sitcom. If anyone could guess this TV show, no, not give you a time frame. Not yet. Unless there's too many people who can't figure it out.
Great job by Quadrant to honestly look the map. Continue to keep control here. It's an A/B setup.
If someone actually knows this, don't Google, don't cheat.
And if Shaq can play his life here and beat, that'd be massive. Got a one-on-one to deal with, and he probably wants to get repulsed right there. Unfortunately, respawners are going to have an angle on him. They're able to take him down. And
no, you're kidding me, man. You cute with this guy? You cute with WG Shad?
This one's going to be a long series because it's pretty chaotic. Slays for both teams, but no.
It was from regular TV, Mark.
Yeah, two wild
okay, it's a 90s sitcom. It's a 90s. No, it's more of a early 2000s sitcom. I think late 90s, early 2000s sitcom.
Taking down Chick, now moving over towards C. Shots here again, chat, trying to win this one-on-one so he can take control back of C. But he goes down, and now Squally on the screen, finally able to cap B, so some control now in the favor of G1.
Yeah, Quadrant forced to try.
It must have been nice to queue with a pro so you could get some more wins. I wish I could queue with pros to get wins. Come on, Mark, clueless.
So back and forth these two teams go. And look at this. Once again, another stronghold being contested. The push on the elevator from Chick. He's by himself, got out.
Chick, man. Oh, it made me think of it right away. If I could think of it, you guys would think of it. TV show sitcom. Late 90s, early 2000s. The father had a friend, okay? That gave a hint. The father had a friend from one episode. His name was Chick.
Here in the last minute or so and gain this map control, maybe push the trip cap, but all now members of Quadrant spawning over towards
That's
that
a lot of
C-base,
hint right there.
G1 and the boys just play slow and hold their ground.
Yeah, great job by Squall there to back up. As soon as you lose switch,
Anyone have a guess or what? If no one has a guess, I'll just tell you what show it's from. Boy Meets World? No.
And they keep control of A&B.
Good guess though. Good
Plays
show.
here out of Squall with the shock rifle, just monitoring the map. Great lines of sight, great angles, and some great shots coming out of Squall.
That's so Raven.
Game Basil pre-Devinator with 11 kills already. We only have 95 points on the board.
Oh wow, man. Yeah, that's crazy. You sent me a picture of this match.
Nothing like seeing your teammate have a
So did you get a lot of wins, Mint, when you play with him?
Two members fall, make that 4 dead.
Not now, Mint. I'm curious to see. Mint, send me some screenshots of your matches with him.
You know how dangerous that trip cap can be.
I want to see how many times you like what your KD ratio was compared to him. Same lobby. It's fair game. Okay, the show. Any last attempts? Last guesses for tell you the show?
And look at this lead now. What was once a very close contested
We're losing
game
people here.
is all of a
People are
sudden
like,
G1
I want to watch this. I want to watch this. I want to watch this. I don't want to listen to this. You gotta talk about things that aren't related to the match.
Trying to keep their foot on the throat, going for the trip cap once again, but because of that, Batteries is left vulnerable, and now Chad and the boys in Quadrant are able to convert. B and C is in their possession as well, so finally some signs of life for Quadrant, but
regret.
looking at the scoreboard, they're
That's
gonna need to
a
play the
joke,
perfect
and I know
halo
it.
here for a little bit of
King of Queens. When Arthur ran away from that party, that senior party, dress-up party, and he meets that guy Chick, and they're gonna drink together. He's an old guy who's all dressed up like he was like from the 70s, and it was funny. Anyways, that's how my mind works. The guy says Chick, and I think of that. That tells you guys anything. Remember, Clueless, you remember the episode now? Does the episode sound familiar?
But Chad is putting the pressure on the G1 team. He wants to trip
Arthur was.
but again, Clutch, we talked about it. It is a risk to go for the trip cap because it rotates, it flips them.
Never got into Hey Arnold. I never got into a lot of Cartoon Network shows. They're kind of weird.
Perfect rotation, perfect plays from Shad here on
Oh
stream.
man, Mint. Wait, is this?
This guy took off for Quadrant on Sunday.
Wow, man, you don't go negative often either. Is that negative? Right?
His play steps up.
Compared to him?
With such great players like SLG and Chick next to him, this team, they can create.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you, man. You're in a lobby with a pro. What do you expect?
Nice flank. I like this play out of Swish, able to really.
Yeah, I'm ashamed. Now I'm ashamed for you because you told me you love that show. Okay, now Clues, I'll let you redeem yourself. What was Arthur wearing? Remember, it was a Halloween costume party that he left in Senior's place. What was he wearing? How was he dressed? What was his costume? You guess this, you'll redeem yourself. Almost.
You cannot continue to give up the power-ups if you're Quadrant. That's a recipe for disaster, and you're seeing how immediately the play being made.
Powerpuff Girls, yeah, I remember that show. It was entertaining. Rugrats, loved Rugrats. Dexter's Laboratory was pretty good. Yep.
Last couple sequences have been going in the favor of Quadrant as they're slowly trying to creep their way back into this game. Still a 60-point deficit though.
Oh yeah, look at that. Shot is 12 and 12 right now.
All of a sudden, right? What was once a 100-point lead, now all of a sudden just a 50-point.
Never got to Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
To chunk away. Can you keep
but my
can you continue the rotations you've been able to do? More importantly, can you keep up with the slays? Because right now,
my friends
if
was
you look
huge
at the
on
slays,
that.
they heavily.
Come on, Clueless. What was you wearing? Don't Google it. Don't cheat. This is the honor system.
Once again, good rotation.
What Arthur dress up as? What was he wearing?
C, A is in their possession as well, but G1
I'd give you a hint if you need a hint.
Capturing
But you
that
lose a few points if you guessed it after the hint.
In the favor of G1,
versus without the hint.
points on the board for this G1 roster. You gotta be careful if you're Quadrant.
Regret. Do you like watch Brokeback Mountain in a Notebook like on the daily with your wife or what? Regret definitely cried while sitting there shirtless watching it. Clueless, man. I'll give you one hint. He was dressed up from. I forget the hint. He was dressed up in a Star Trek costume, and he had his like alien. He had his alien headband thing on or something.
They almost got B, but G1 able to reset it, but still control in the favor of Quadrant.
All right, but check it out.
I can remember, don't I? This is how I remember all you guys.
outside of the first one of the.
We'll see when I have 1,000 watching it. Imagine that, guys. Imagine this time next year I have 1,000 people watching. To remember all people, it's gonna be tough. But he was, yeah, probably it was probably Spock.
Yeah, fortunate series of events there.
But he had like this, like he had this like
Player
something in his
catching
head.
some damage with the grenades. He gets spotted, but Boo Boo Doo with the killing spree, double kill.
They're freaking out. You hear that?
Putting on a show.
Fortnite for Quadrant as well. G1
Titanic was a good movie.
can close it out here. They're pushing the trip cap.
Of course, my mom didn't want me to go watch it.
All you get on the side of Quadrant. Can
When
you at least stop the bleeding, make it a manageable
Rose
situation?
says, "Pick me with
You gotta
this
get the
and
next
only
round of
this."
kills, and Boo Boo Doo is gonna try and deny that storyline from happening.
And this trip cap could be the nail.
Cliff
of
of the Big Red Dog.
game number one,
The
but
TV
as
show
I say that,
cartoon I
two
enjoyed with my
members
sister
full
on
for
PBS
G1.
Kids.
This could be the final
I used to do it with my
attempt for
sister.
Quadrant to stay
And I
alive in
admit,
this
I was
game.
like probably like 13, 14, and I still found it humorous, entertaining. My little sister. Come on.
And Clutch, we talk about
She's
it
only
time
2 years
and time
younger than me.
again, just because you lose a game, put up
Guys,
a
I watch
fight
baby
score,
shows with my
go into
little
the next
sister.
game
You know,
feeling good, and I like
she's
what I'm
like 2 years
seeing
younger than me.
out of Quadrant. They're putting up
Back
a big
then.
fight against a really talented
Who remembers
and
Clifford the
highly
movie with
anticipated
Martin
G1
Short?
team.
That's a good
Quadrant
movie.
is here to
Not
take
the
a
Big
point
Red
as well.
Dog. Clifford with Martin Short. That's a good movie.
SLG right there. The Commando's gonna have the advantage in that situation. So SLG does his part. Can the rest of Quadrant get the slays? They're in B. They're trying to contest. The grenades come through. And Quadrant.
G1, they said they're the big underdogs for this tournament.
Yeah, big plays out of Quadrant, keeping control of the map, keeping their hopes alive here in game number one. From the looks of it, it's going to be a very long series. I would love to see this go the distance to a game 5, but right now in front of us, we have Shad on your screen here, and Turbine spots the player. Bottom mid gets a call out, but unfortunately can't find the Phantom Menace.
Guys, tonight,
Able to pick
my
up
wife was working a lot. She's been very tired. She had to work some overtime and stuff this week. So she's not going to make dinner. We're going to get dinner, which I love that. I love eating out. She would make dinner if I asked her if she could please do it, but I take advantage of it every time I can when she's tired. Honey, you don't get tired. Let's just eat out. You don't have to make dinner for me. It's okay. I'm one of those guys. I'm not like I need you to make dinner for me every night. I'm like, hey, you can't make dinner? No problem. She's a good cook too. But hey, no problem. I'm good. We'll go eat out.
The map's gonna flip. A and B are gonna go in the favor of Quadrant.
Mark, very funny. It's not how it works.
Fight from SLG.
Or is it?
He at least gets the trade, and trades are a good thing.
Well, Mark,
when you have two of those strongholds
your donation earlier today will help change that, won't it? So I appreciate your donation today.
Out of the double kill though for Squall, 202 to 241. Now finally control back in the favor of G1. This
Regret. I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Only 3 seconds left to go, and G1
I'm in the mood for, I think, Chinese food.
Number 1.
It's a
That's an easy dub.
Squall.
I think I'm in the mood for Chinese food.
Never had a team this talented. Never been playing so good in his career, and it's something special to watch that he's transferred it over to land, because this G1 team, they get momentum going. They believe in themselves. They are the most dangerous team at this tournament for the top 4, because they believe in themselves. They believe they have what it takes to find themselves in a winner's finals, to find themselves grand champions at the end of the week here.
Yeah, and we saw it at the NA Super, right? G1 able to get second place against the top teams in the world. Looking at the scoreboard here, we talked about him. Pre-Devinator started off the game really hot and really put his team in a position to have that gap.
The wife does not.
And he played a pivotal role for this team to win
no wife
one.
reveal.
Yeah,
maybe in the future.
The
We'll see.
reignition, the resurgence of Boo Boo Doo Boo. Just when we thought he may have been losing some of that fire, he joins his G1 team and has been putting on a show ever since.
Look at the assist from Squall. 19 to his name. Most damage on his team. And as you take a look at some of the players on Quadrant, Chad and SLG, they did their part damage-wise. New York's had some solid stats as well. And the guy that you think is going to show up and play the best in this series, Chick, doesn't have a strong game 1, but that might just be a good nugget to point out.
Yeah.
Basil, as we enter the rest of this best of 5, you can expect Chick to pick it up. And if he does, Quadrant are going to be a much more difficult out than they were there in game 1.
I couldn't agree more, Wes. The fact that Chick had a struggle in game number 1, but this was still really back and forth. I think it bodes well for the Quadrant team. Like I said, I would love to see this go the distance. As you see Boo Boo do with it, that was a disgusting no-scope for the double kill. But overall, I would say it was a pretty even game number 1. Of course, G1 felt like they had a bit of the edge the whole way, able to win the game comfortably towards the end, but Quadrant scared them a few times, I think.
I mean, Quadrant was too busy playing catch-up the entire game. That trip cap in about the first third of the game that we watched G1 blow up to over 100-point lead. At that point, it's such a difficult win condition for Quadrant because it just forces them to try and push the trip cap or to just hold so many different pushes from G1.
Can't find a picture, man. I want to try to find a picture of Arthur.
Them to outslay G1 from that point on in the game that heavily, what it would require in order to come back in that game. So if Quadrant don't fall off to a massive deficit early, they're going to give themselves so much better of a chance here in game 2 to tie this series up.
Yeah, game number 2 will be Aquarius, Team Slayer, Clutch. And if you're Quadrant, what are you telling each other going into this game? Are you just brushing off game number 1, going into game number 2 like it's just another game? Do you hype your team up? What are you telling each other to really, because this is a really important game as we hop into game number 2.
I don't speak much French, but I can imagine it's something positive and one of the greatest dynasties in the history, so I'm sure that their morale is still up. I'm sure Quadrant didn't fly all this.
Man, bro, why are we always like mentally like connected?
So we'll see what they bring to us.
We're like mentally connected, bro.
The 3-2 lead early on for G1, but
yeah, I've been craving Chinese food the last few days. It's really funny, and you just got Chinese food.
It's going to be a battle of trades, and if you can capitalize on the damage from your teammates, you give yourself so
cat photos, yeah. the members channel. Have I sent one to you guys? I'll send you guys some stuff.
Make that 6-4 as his team.
What do you guys think of my idea? I was doing it for shorts. I was throwing my cat at the end of my shorts. Should that be like my thing? Like after every short, there's like a different cat picture or a different cat video. What do you guys think? Would that be like entertaining? Would that be different? I feel like every content creator needs some kind of like special difference, you know?
Starting off really strong here in game number 2.
Such a heads-up play by Boo Boo to just back up, scavenge for those dynamo grenades, puts them both to use, extends a lot of
They
space
do well on YouTube.
now.
Yeah, I should make a video just the cat just playing Halo.
On Aquarius Slayer. As the more angles you have,
the more
opportunity you have to trap the enemy team. When right now it appears that Quadrant is trapped piece out of the map, and
my social media number is
multiple angles. They do release some of the pressure from that
999.
Opposite of Boo Boo Doo Boo.
How about every 80s movie? 555 is your phone number.
Devinator with 7 kills already. Boo Boo Doo Boo spots the player top flag, pushing over. He catches a grenade though, so a bit tentative to push out here. Smart plays out of Boo Boo Doo Boo, staying alive. It's so important in these team players to value your life and be a hard kill when you're one shot.
Mark, you never finished my shorts, huh? Yeah, a couple of my shorts I threw the cat in at the end.
On that damage, like I was saying, if you're not able to capitalize, it's just unwarranted. It doesn't mean anything.
Getting an overkill.
Boo Boo Doo Boo's been knocked to no shield several times, but relocated, stayed alive.
Mark, you nailed it. That's my social security number. I'm gonna just steal my identity.
Should be exactly what they need in order to take the lead here.
Mark's not finishing. Mark's backing out of my shorts when he sees what he wants to see. He's not seeing the whole thing. Yeah, a few of them I've done. A few I've put the cat in there for fun.
Top base now. He's going to put down some fire from top middle. Great job there, providing support for his team. Able to get a couple assists, finally going down. Good series of kills there for the G1 squad.
It's tough, right? SLG feels like he was trying to make a good play, but nobody really on Quadrant had his shoulder, looked over his back, was able to capitalize on the melee that he was able to get on the Squall-Eye. Because of that, Squall-Eye stays alive. They have numbers advantage for the fight that happens on that side of the map, and as SLG respawns, his entire team goes down. 21-17 now. G1 have extended the lead to 5.
Oh, this is how you clean up short.
Still, but if you're Quadrant, you want
that one has
playing catch up is such a difficult mindset.
Has my cat.
Put on your team, especially without the experience, without the camaraderie that this team is going to need.
couple members of Quadrant here, top team. Devin trying to get in this one-on-one fight. Spots a player, that's Chad, as he drops down, trying to stay alive. Good.
You're not gonna risk what? I don't get it.
G1, we see that time again, which makes this team so dangerous as 3 members go down for Quadrant.
Oh my goodness,
G1's
Mark.
teamwork is impeccable. Arguably some of the best teamwork. Not arguably, they do.
Yeah,
have
this
some
is
of the
how
best
you clean
teamwork
up. Check
in
out that
the
short.
league, and that's what makes this team so dangerous.
That's
But
one of
a
them.
candidate for top 4. We saw
Another
that
one I do.
second
My
place
wife was
DNA
like,
Super, and
she
they're
was so
putting on a
confused
show right
why
now.
that
Game
cat was in
number
there.
2.
I'm like,
And
you don't get
honestly,
it?
this wasn't really a successful push by them, but they were able to trade kills out when they needed to, and because of it, the A kill lead remains the same. Right now, if you're on the side of G1, having map control, applying pressure, and just trading kills from this point out is a very easy win condition to replicate.
A couple players, a couple fights going down on this P side, but trades on your screen. 2 members for A side go down. Boo Boo Doo takes down Shad, but once again, just trading kills. It's not going to work if you're Quadrant. You need to string together some kills without trading.
Yeah, and you see Boo Boo Doo just holding that corner down. He's able to get the first kill. That just denies a lot of the space Quadrant's trying to take. East side of the map, Boo Boo Doo is still going to be alive in that corner, and now, I mean, Chick's left for dead right now. He's able to get a kill, and not a lot of focus on him from the side of G1, and he's slipped behind enemy bars. And that's exactly what Quadrant needed, was an opportunity, an opening to release some of the pressure from G1 there, but it still only amounted to 1 kill. They weren't able to capitalize and find several others behind it, and at this point in the game, Faisal, it is a 4-kill game. Quadrant do seem like they have some map control behind them. This could be the moment where they stay in this series.
And this life of Chick that we're watching, the rotation all the way from P over to the base, this has been so huge because he's able to provide cover fire for his team, get some very valuable kills, and now it's just a 3-kill game.
It's the space, right? Look at where his team is on the map. He has so much information with the space that he's created. He is
limiting G1's
opportunity to advance.
Yeah, I got my wife a cat for Christmas in the end of 2020, Christmas 2021.
Chick
No.
has been playing his life
Christmas 2020.
fantastically for the last minute or so, being a nuisance, a thorn in the side of G1. Boo Boo Doo knows
Wow,
it, trying to get him to go down.
Dogs are
Chick
cool. I was always a
rotating
dog guy over a cat guy. I was never a cat
staying
guy.
alive, keeping his team
But this cat is like a
here
puppy,
in game
man.
number 2. They
Like,
cannot
this
go
cat
down
will
2-0.
literally
Swish with the reach
come
out there.
to
Almost
me
disrespectfully does it, but
if I call her,
Chick off guard, because
and
of it,
like she wants to, every time me and my wife are relaxing on the
position, and in
couch,
the meantime,
the cat will
G1
come walk
has
over
pushed
to us
up
to snuggle
because
with us.
Quadrant was denied that information. They didn't have the
Like she'll go sit in her lap. Like the cat's not one of those like those cats that
G1
look at you from far away and evil, territorial. She's a very sweet cat. I guarantee you, Noctis, if you met this cat, you'd like the cat.
Swish trying to stay alive.
Yeah, Mark, that used to be me 100%.
Kill feed gets a kill, so only 7 left
Like
to
my
go,
my
and
nonno,
Camouflage
my
in the
grandfather
hands
would
of
say.
G1.
The dog
This
belongs
could be dangerous
outside.
if you're a Quadrant fan.
Throw it
Devin
out there
making his move.
outside.
Yeah, here comes Devin with the nade, the one
No, I don't
shot,
walk my cat
looking
outside.
phenomenal so far in this series. 15 and 10 here in the Slayer. And what a powerhouse this guy is when he heats up, when he finds his rhythm. And
But yeah, I like
G1
my
team,
cat.
It seems like he just fits in
Good
perfectly.
cat.
And clutch, it was 34-32 at one point. And now G1 2 kills away, make that 1.
I want to get a husky.
And they will win this
Like a
game.
wolf dog, you know?
Number 2 Aquarius
Get out,
Slayer
it's too
goes in the
easy.
favor of G1, and they lead this series comfortably 2-0 after a couple not so difficult wins.
It's true. You don't need to own it.
The better team, and that was
Yeah, Noctis. My cat wouldn't do that too. My cat would be the first cat ever in your life that would actually welcome you.
Depending on the different
Not
variations of
one
the
of those
outcomes that we
evil
can see, what can we learn about
cats.
these teams? Quadrant is a very
Guys, look at
strong
all this
team. I
sweeping.
watched
Is
them
it gonna be another-
every
is
day.
it
They
another
pushed us
sweep?
into a game 7. We know how strong of a team these guys are. The fact that G1 is comfortably winning these games gives me so much hope for these guys throughout this weekend, because these guys, with the belief in themselves, the system that they have built around them, the success that they've had online, so many questions as to can they perform on land? Will they be able to do it under the bright lights? Well, step 1 is right in front of them, and they're making step 1 look like an appetizer.
Once again, Pre-Devinator is the name of the game, leading the charge with 16 and 10, a positive 6. Now looking at the damage, Swish
My grandpa.
with over 4,200, leading the way on both sides. So just what we wanted to see out of G1, right? We talked about this team. We did the talent, all gave their wild card picks, and most of the talent picked G1 as their wild card team for a reason. And Quadrant, obviously, a very formidable opponent. Looking at the highlights now from game number 2, and things, there were points in this game where SLG, where Chick, that one life that Chick had, where he was just big plays, rotating, providing teamwork, providing communication and information for his team, but ultimately it wasn't enough as the camo really helped Devin and the G1.
The boat thing's funny though. It's so true. It's better to know someone with a boat than to own your own boat. That's what it seems like, huh? So much work and stuff. Just enjoy the leisure of the boat. Then okay, see you later. Have fun.
The entire roster starting to find their groove, and it really is a reason for their success because it's not they have a superstar. It's not that they have a Frosty or a Lucid popping off. It's that every single game, one of these guys is stepping up, but all of them are playing so well that the other three are just allowing this guy the position to step up and make the play, and that guy is making the play every time.
It's been a pleasure to watch Clutch. Down 2-0 though for your quadrant, and we've seen it. Of course, every reverse sweep starts with a Game 3 win, but just the caliber, you know, the fight that we're seeing Quadrant put up here just a little bit short. I really want to see them turn it around here in game number 3, make this a series, and of course, we have Catalyst, the newest map on the circuit. Clutch, what can you do here for Quadrant?
Right now, the name of the game is pressure, and so far, G1 has just had map control. They have pressured Quadrant so much more than Quadrant has been able to pressure G1 throughout this series. It's difficult on a map like Catalyst, though, so maybe Quadrant can find some openings, find some nice rotations, and take advantage of some opportunities there. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts, man. Yeah, dogs, animals cost a lot of money.
Good start as Quadrant. They need a good start. Shad gives them it with 2 kills.
Yeah, nice double kill to start off the game for Shad. We got Squall on your screen. Chick able to take him down. That was an interesting engagement. Now, I really want to see Chick step up. We saw him have a good game too, but he needs to pop off in game number 3. He's on the nerd and able to get a good trade.
Great trade, honestly. Thought he almost was able to turn on Devinator, and we know how well Devinator's been playing throughout this game. Chick making himself a very difficult kill there. That can build some momentum when you're able
you guys all think to be a sweep? Got 5 votes here.
SLG here on your screen picks up the skewer, and let's see if he can stay alive.
Let's see.
Good job getting out of harm's way there. Misses the shot.
Bro, you can't miss that shot. You're a pro. Come on.
Life, losing that skewer.
That's a Nurix. It's a one-on-one. Nurix clean wipes the rest of G1. A big double from him to keep map control in Quadrant's favor, and that's a step in the right direction to being able to apply some pressure. The battle for map control. Nurix helps Quadrant gain that. And look at this. Shad going around the map with grapple. L-Town in the back.
There it is, Dewey.
Let's see what he can do with this play.
Take some notes if you're watching at home as Shad with a nice flank using
there it is. That was it. You guys always want me to do. There it is.
Not able to do so as Swish with
so you only need 1 grapple. You don't even need 2.
Kills cleaning out that base.
Same Swish 5s will.
But didn't I try it before? Didn't I try it before? Does it matter on what side you're at? Does it matter on what side you're at?
Couple members fall for G1, but as I say that, SLG goes down.
Dewey, send it to me privately, and I'll make it a YouTube short.
So far, Quadrant's the aggressive team on this map. They have forced G1 to play defense.
That'd be a good short, Dewey. You'd be like, did you ever know you could do this in Halo?
Multiple players, no shield. Nurix gets 2.
Obviously, I'll credit you in the description.
That's 3 down once again for G1, and we're seeing a lot of life out of this Quadrant team as it looks like they're going to be the first team on the board, but Devin's on the main ramp. Throws a good grenade, gets that flag down. Squall gets
yeah, exactly, Dewey. All that storing, all that. Yeah, winterize it.
And will Devin get this return uncontested? And he will. Clutch, that's gonna hurt.
It's 3 down. You gotta find Devinator.
How to return your flag on Catalyst?
Tracking names right there. From Quadrant, you got to figure out where Devin's coming up. Top middle, the door makes a noise, for God's sakes. I know they're on main stage. It's a big moment.
But I feel like it'd get more clicks and views if it said, I bet you never knew you could do this in Halo.
Right now,
everyone's going to be interested.
Both flags on the move here, opposite directions, and slays are what we need to pay attention to, Faisal.
Uh-oh. Shad, fortunately for him, not a lot going on this side of the map, so he is able to bring G1's flag all the way over, but I spoke too soon as a grenade catches him perfectly. Swish is here to try
if he didn't botch that carry, he probably would have made it.
Here. Will he be able to get the and
he got it.
Yes, he does.
He would have made it.
Think, Faisal, what could have been a 1-0 lead for Quadrant if you don't miss that flag on the side of
Sheldon took many years of
Unfortunately, one miss up, one mishap can cost you not only a game, but your series life right now. backs to the wall. Quadrant cannot afford those kind of mistakes.
Bubu is such an important player on the map right now as he's essentially the last line of defense.
It's okay, Dewey. I'll check it out.
Flag cap opportunity. Bubu making a very smart play, just retreating, backing up, and not allowing himself to get too much damage. That is.
I mean, if it looks clean enough and nasty enough, I think it's gonna make an awesome, entertaining short.
I don't think he'll be able to get this. He does not. Great job out of Onyx to keep that flag alive.
What a play by Onyx. Last guy alive on his team. You're one-on-one with Bubu. A legacy player at this point. You win the one-on-one, you keep the flag stalemate alive, you give your team an opportunity to keep this at a 0-0 game and potentially win this stalemate.
Overshields are going to be so important in this game. Like we saw Squish really make use of it there and able to get over to the enemy's base.
The dog dad life.
SLG doesn't know.
The dog dad life. Dog dad.
SLG's able to stay alive on those spikes. Swish not really moving out of the spot. 2 members do go down though for Quadrant.
Here he comes. It's gonna be 3 going down. Last player alive.
The dog dad.
Trying to get it towards the respawners of Quadrant, but they're not gonna be able to get there in time. And it will be G1 jumping off to a 1-0 lead. The big question now, Faisal, is does G1 have the control of Quadrant's base enough to get a second flag on the move?
Great grenade there.
Here it comes.
Swish. We're seeing a second flag opportunity now for G1, and things are looking good. But that, again, once again,
No,
we're
I'm not.
seeing the counter pull come out of
I'm
the
not
side
a
of
cat
Quadrant.
dad
Maybe this
Lewis.
time they'll have more luck.
The name of the game is overextending. Quadrant doing a great job to overextend here. Not allow this flag to potentially give a 2-0 lead to G1.
I like this play out of Swish and the boys on G1. Patient butt chick. Great shots out of him. Bubu still staying alive. The master of playing sneaky. Spots chick. Once again, opting to not commit too much. Staying alive here in this cubby. Flag is still alive. Bubu not able to win that double kill out of Onyx. Big play. Chick gets one of his own. 3 members go down for G1. And will this be?
Everyone has their preference. There's no
SLG is here.
I have more pictures of my dog than my kids on my phone.
They tie this one up. 6 minutes left, plenty of time, but
At the end of the day,
there's
no I don't think there's a right or wrong when it comes to that.
They still have control. They didn't just go 4 down or 3 down after capping the flag. They're in a great position.
Everyone's situation in life is different.
Skewer in the hands of SLG. Devin goes down. Squall gets one of his own. No
Nice
scope
shot.
out of SLG. Great
He
job
made up for
all
his miss
around, and
earlier.
We're seeing 3 members down once again for G1. Last player is Swish. This could be an opportunity. What a spawn
Dude,
there for
Clues, my wife had a cat for years growing up, and then obviously we got married. That cat's still alive. And then eventually I got our cat for Christmas, but even I said, is our cat considered part of our family? She's like, no, it's a pet. I'm like, great, it's a pet, it's my pet, it's our pet. But Zoom, Easy Buckets, check him out on YouTube, basketball channel. He makes funny shorts too. Zoom says the cat is 100 Waffles. The cat's name is Waffles. The cat is 100%. Waffles is 100%. Are a family member. Like it's not. I mean, the cat is not a family member. She's not a family member. Some say yes, some say no. There's no right or wrong.
Took his time, knows that he has just too many things to clear by
Or is
himself. So he lets
Here we go.
play. Here we go. Uses the audio cues perfectly, and now with grapple in hand, here comes a Swish flank.
Ah, he needed 2. Our guy did 1, didn't he?
Able to do the flank once again, and it seems like every flag pull so far this game has had a counter pull.
So unnecessary. His team's right there. His team's right there. It's so unnecessary.
Capitalize on that return, and so far it's been
That's a good pull, huh? Is a pet considered part of the family?
Turning it into a flag stalemate. The big question is who's going to benefit this time around from the flag stalemate. G1 does lose a couple of members. As they come off respawn, these are going to be the important kills.
Ooh, juicy. Good question. Is a fish also considered a family member? It's a pet.
Knows Onyx once again. The battle of Swish versus Onyx, and Swish gets the better of him. Killing spree for him. SLG gets a kill on the board as well. So still a stalemate. Swish, I like this play. Leave the flag.
By law, your pet's taking last name in adoption? Is that true?
Quadrant, help your teammates in their base, but 3 members of Quadrant ready for that push.
Good backup. Way to stay alive by Swish. Now it's up to Bubu with overshield in hand. Can he get the entry frag? He finds SLG, takes him down. And now 2 down for Quadrant. Here comes the Bubu himself.
Bubu.
4 go down for Quadrant. Quadrant. The return comes in, and the communication from G1 will show you they have a third cap in mind.
Have no fear.
All right, well, Ben, they got one cap.
Grapple moving the flag once again. 2-1. This could be the final game in the series as G1 has been looking fantastic.
Okay, why does it look like he's moving so fast? Why does it look like he moves so fast right there?
Another overextension from Quadrant makes this one a little bit more interesting.
That sword, buddy, don't you?
Is going to bait that flag, but understands that he's actually got to go back and get a touch. It's halfway return.
He wanted that sword. You know he wanted it.
Gets the kill, gets the return, and Quadrant with the overextension pull tie the game up once again.
What a play out of Chick, and we expect nothing less from one of Europe's finest. As Nurix
definitely making this tighter than people thought.
Play the map very similarly. They like to go to the same positions, and we're seeing them battle non-stop here. Squall able to
my dog would die to protect me. My kids would run. Oh man. Oh man. My kids would run.
Last player alive, make it 4 down. G1 coming up respawn. Quadrant now with map control, skewer in hand.
Chef's kiss. No
and 2 minutes
desync.
left on the clock.
Land.
And
No
I like
desync.
the play and for the most part of running it towards the side of the action, but you just got to be more patient there. I feel like the overextension cost them. 4 members go down for G1, and now
Oh, interesting. I wonder.
Can't hit the shot, paid for it with his life.
I'm gonna ask my wife if our cat, if our cat is like at the vet, what the name is under the vet, like at the vet. Is it Waffles? That's interesting. Okay.
Trying to get a flag run if you can get back there, block the spawns. He does that, but needs to stay alive. They got a reslay.
Big kill out of Squall there on SLG. He was Nurix's backup, but Nurix able to get the cleanup, and now he's gonna run this flag, but he's gonna take damage and not able to.
I mean,
get
Mark,
out of
how about a
harm's
bunny?
way.
People eat rabbit.
That kill on SLG was huge there.
And they also have rabbits as pets.
Still able to snap on the
It's a tight game, guys.
Down.
This is tight. This is a tight race over here. Put it a little
Once
louder.
again, phenomenal defense from G1, but there's got to be something to say about how aggressive Quadrant looks here in Game 3.
Look at the scoreboard.
Very
It's
aggressive.
Pretty even. Yeah. No one really standing out, and you know, no one has like a 30 bomb or anything. Everyone, a lot of teamwork
Waffles
that
is a
we're
girl.
seeing here. Good trades, good pushes. As Switch goes down, Chick gets one of his own. The flag.
Savage Nugget.
Members are down for G1.
This is massive. The flag, it's been stalled. The last player alive, Squall for G1. Able
See you there,
to stop that
Noctis.
flag from
Good to
getting
see you.
any further.
Thanks
It's
for
perfect
stopping
first
by.
quarter. Look at where it's returned. You have to think it gets so much further. But Squall clutches up. Defense once again for G1 stands strong. They keep this game tied.
Big play out of
What do regret asks? If animals are part of the family, then what is a zoo? Family watching center.
Attempting one more push before we go into overtime.
That's
Good
different
shots
though.
of
Those
the
aren't
Chick.
pets.
SLG
Those are
hiding.
animals.
Does not know.
We're talking about
Boo Boo
pets,
is
not just
SLG
animals in
hiding, and all
general.
4 members of Quadrant basically on defense right now. SLG gets 1, gets 2. Boo Boo gets a grenade kill. 2 members make that 3 go down for G1.
Oh.
But
OT, huh?
unfortunately for Quadrant, does not look
Nothing,
like
Nugget.
they'll
We're
have
just
enough
having
time
a fun
They're
discussion.
not going to be getting over here anytime soon. We're going to overtime in Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Quadrant.
If a pet is considered a family, if a pet is considered a family member or not. Is a pet considered a family member? That was a discussion, and maybe a future poll.
First to 1 cap here in overtime. So let's see if Quadrant can push this series to a Game 4.
Overtime on Catalyst.
If you own a tiger, yeah, it's a pet.
First cap will take the victory here, and if you're G1, you want to close this out with a clean sweep. 2 members go down for Quadrant. Swish on your screen, 3 down for Quadrant. What a start for G1. Shad, last member, desperately trying to stay alive. Good job doing damage with the grenades. Good job building his life and giving his team just enough time to respawn and not get too chaotic.
Okay. You got to respawn, Quadrant. How good's your defense? We saw how many times G1 was able to fend off your pushes in the first regulation.
Jeez, Mark.
But this G1 push, it's a failed one. Swish, last guy alive now. As Quadrant do come up respawn, and that's all because they were able to buy time. Last player alive plays that pole so well. He's able to really get some space.
Dewey's so absolute. It's black or white. There's no gray. You're like AC, Dewey. No gray, just black or white.
Better at Swish, and that engagement now on board with Squall. Boo Boo gets the kill. That flag is being run here. Got to be careful, chat. Staying.
What's up, Connor?
Stay alive there, but a trade Got a chat. Chig able to get this.
Guys, I don't need my.
Base. Will this be a game number 3 win for Quadrant?
You need the kills. Someone's
You don't believe in grace? So when you're feeling like, so you don't have like great day with your wife, where you guys just pick out a bunch of fast food and stuff, and then just watch a movie and wear your gray sweatpants and gray sweater with a mustard stain or a Cheeto stain like right in the chest, like right there. You don't have those days? I call those fat days. You don't have fat days? You should be a pure fat slob mess and just rot all day and just enjoy food, and that's the best.
Contested one right here, but no contest out of Quadrant, and there you have it. Devin
All those weekends.
3-0 victory for G1.
Oh, they got it. They
Just
did.
when we
They
thought
swept them.
Quadrant had a little bit of life.
As we
G1
expected.
steps all over their dreams.
Devin, you are too good.
The bad boy.
To not be a household name. Ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce you to G1. They're here to play.
G1 has got to be feeling good. Eli, the ninja coach on your team, he goes way back.
Way back.
Way back, and a fantastic performance out of G1 after that Game 5 nail-biter win against Native Red earlier on the feature station clutch. I knew this G1 team was set up for success on that. In the Grunt Classic, we saw Native Red get the better of G1 and win in a Game 5 in the winner's bracket, but the way they started this tournament, winning that Game 5 and getting their revenge against Native Red and now coming here sweeping Quadrant, what does that tell you about G1?
Well, there's a lot of times you look at an opportunity to start your tournament off against another top team like Native Red, and a lot of people will say, I don't want to play a good team first. Well, when you play a good team first, you go to Game 5, you clutch up Game 5 50-46, you get that adversity out of the way, your blood starts going, your adrenaline's already going. You've already faced some adversity throughout the day, and to get that out of the way early in this tournament is everything G1 needs to take this momentum and run all the way through this pool.
And we were talking about Pre-Devinator in games 1 and 2, but game 3 was all about Swish. 29 and 16 going pause, 13, over 7,700 damage. If Swish and Squall can really play at the level we know they can, not many teams, if any, can stop G1.
We've seen what G1 can do online. Remove the online word from that sentence, because we have now seen what G1 can do against a very strong Quadrant team. Slight work. Game 3 was a strong competition from Quadrant, but it wasn't enough. G1 closed the series out, and it was a phenomenal way to close that one out. To show that you can clutch up when it matters, to show that an individual like Pre-Devinator, no shield, 2 players in front of him, flag to return or you lose the game. Pre-Devinator finds a way to get the job done. And if G1 can find ways to get the job done throughout this weekend, they're going to find themselves in the grand finals.
Yeah, we've seen G1 be a dominant team in that NA Super. I know we've mentioned it quite a few times, but I cannot forget the performance of G1 in the NA Super, and so far it looks like they're here with that same energy at HCS Orlando, winning both of their series so far. And for now, Goofy clutch, that'll do it for this series. Blaze, take it away.
I don't know, especially with one side of my family says.
Orlando, give it up for G1 as they come out victorious here in pool play. I got Swish on the stage, and Swish so far to kick off this day, it was a Game 5 against Native
Like the
Red,
Matrix,
a
Mark?
difference of 4 kills, but you guys
Who are
quickly
you, me,
rebutted
15
from
years
this one
ago?
into a 3-0. How do you feel about your performance so far, you know, playing at HCS Orlando?
Our performance as a group, we started off slow, obviously, against Native. We really didn't have time to warm up, but we're starting to heat up, and I think it's showing here. But so far, we're doing everything we plan to do, and we'll continue to do so.
All right, and now for G1, you
it's
guys
a hard,
got
heart,
a new look,
heart moment
okay?
between
You got
Mark
Dubo
and
on the
Dewey.
squad. Tell me
Mark
about
saying
how
how
has it been playing with
he
the
likes him
squad
more than his
on
own
land and having this
brother-in-law.
team?
Listen, I'll say a couple things. Number one, Pre-Devinator has been like one of the most underrated players like that I've ever seen in Halo. And every time he's ever been to a LAN, he always shows up, right?
Always show up.
So when you add another really good LAN piece to the team, you know,
You
good
get
things happen.
G1. G1 on top. All right, I love that right there. And so now, as you guys are going forward, tell me, if you had to say one word that makes G1 special, okay, one characteristic on the team, the teamwork, the slaying power, power weapon control, what would you say can get you guys a trophy?
As long as we keep working together towards a common goal every second of the game and out of game, we should be able to achieve what we want to achieve.
All right, I like that teamwork.
I feel bad for you guys,
day.
man.
Any
I
last
love my
words you wanna
mother-in-law.
give the
She's
fans out
awesome.
there?
Thank you guys all for your support, and hopefully we continue to keep it going here for you guys.
My mother-in-law is awesome, and she always remembers me. Like when she goes to like she comes somewhere like to like the store, like she comes to like a party or something. Like she always like brings me a snack or like she always arrives with something for me. Or if I'm going to her house, she like remembers me.
We're a little bit nervous.
She comes, stops by my house just to say hi or whatever. Then she's like, "Oh, I'm streaming," and after my stream, guys, and I walk into the kitchen and I see a massive box of Welch's gummy snacks.
Is exactly what we want out of this roster. What did you make of their gameplay there?
Great performance. Superb
They can't
performance. What you can
afford
ask for in
Mark.
a series like that, right? And I think we're almost disrespecting Native Red a little bit. You know, that's a tough game one.
Yes.
All right, that's gonna be it for us watching this attorney. Hope you guys enjoyed this though. I had fun with you guys. I know we were more focused earlier on the game. I know I lost focus on on the match. But yeah, it was fun, guys. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. And do a different ending song here. Yeah. Thank you again, guys, for the donations. For those who gave me donations today, I greatly appreciate it. Of course, everyone else who has in the past, I appreciate that as well. All my members, 17 members, guys. We were 3 members away, 3 from 20. I really hope we get that soon. 3 members away from 20. But again, a special thanks to Jared for his donation, Infinite Jest, Stevie G, and Marco Word today. Appreciate you guys, your donations today. Greatly appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. I don't think there'll be a stream tomorrow. It's possible, though, that I do. I'm very curious what this whole world premiere thing's all about. Like the actual details. I want to see what actually is happening, what's coming to Halo, if anything. So we'll see what happens there. Stay tuned. Turn on YouTube notifications. You never know. But if I don't see you guys this weekend, I will see you guys Monday morning at 9 a.m. All right, catch you guys all later. Have a good one.